podcast ever recorded. So somebody distract the guards. We're headed to the preservation room. It's time to take this thing home, baby. Let's go. You see, it's very simple.
That was more intensity that you just brought in that opening line than Nicolas Cage brought in the entire film.
And in the entirety of his acting
Shots
career.
are already fired. I'm out the door. Let's go.
Already shooting at Nicolas Cage. This is going to be a long day because Nicolas Cage, this was maybe the best performance of his entire career. Just a masterful acting performance. Incredible. I believed with every ounce of my being that he thought he could steal the Declaration of Independence.
No,
Absolutely.
He knew
he
could steal
Absolutely.
the Declaration of Independence.
Well, that voice you hear across from me is that of Steph Farrell. Welcome in. How are
Hello.
you? Thunder Steph.
I am good.
You doing good?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Doing pretty good.
I'm glad you're here. You're coordinating with the Dirt Farmer today.
I know. We had a phone call this morning, and pink it is.
I don't even have a phone. That was awesome. They're going to know.
It was telepathic. Not supposed to tell them that.
Oh, yeah. It was a phone call. She wasn't
Yeah.
at all in the same room when we were picking clothes.
Clint, I'm so happy that you're here because I know how big of a fan you are of people stealing things that don't belong to
No
them.
kidding, right?
Yeah?
This is, no, I can do without.
Just cheering this along the whole time.
I mean, it was still a fun movie.
All right. Well, you're here with the manimal himself,
That's what I'm most happy about.
Bob Hauser.
You got a lot of nerve showing your face around here, Hauser.
I still have to get used to that.
What's up, man?
What's going on? How are you?
It looks like you're about to pull a heist, is what it looks like.
That's where he came
You're in your heist gear.
I really just before I came here, I'm like, I need to wear an outfit. I really don't care.
Yeah. All right.
So this is
Perfect, because it looks like you thought the plan was not to record National Treasure, but to reenact National Treasure.
yeah, absolutely.
He would be Ian.
He would be no, he would be Ben Gates for sure.
As long as you don't say Riley.
Not Riley, of course, not Ben Gates. Sean Bean. I love Sean Bean.
Sean Bean was
It's
good.
either
We'll talk
it's either
about
Sean Bean or Sean Bond. He needs to pick one.
It's Sean Bean.
No,
Do you have a problem with pronouncing them differently, even though they're spelled the same?
English.
What's his English name? Sean Bean or Sean Bond?
No, it's Sean Bean is his name, but I say it needs to either be Sean Bond or Sean Bean.
She wants consistency.
It needs
between
to
the
be
two.
consistent in the fact that I can't do it.
She doesn't like it.
Just say Boromir.
There you go.
Yes,
Trevelyan.
I'm here for it.
Yes. Over at the kids' table, we got the mayor, Ryan Mueller, is with
I'm
us today.
here fresh off my election victory.
Yes.
4 more years as mayor of BMR.
Congratulations.
And I tell you what, if I'd been elected 20 years ago, that declaration never would have been stolen because my FBI would have taken that as a credible threat.
Well, look, it hasn't even been 4 years. How have you been doing 4 more years?
4 more.
BMR
And
hasn't even been around.
when did we vote
Well,
on this?
He got elected way before we
Yeah,
did the
I mean,
first episode.
you had to have the government in place before you even get things going. I mean, how do we keep order around
that's
here?
fair.
You know?
So 7 months, 6 months, whatever.
But exactly. Right.
Before.
Yep.
Yeah, well, about 6 months before.
Hey, it's all about planning, man.
That's incredible. I didn't even know. I didn't even know. That's
Setting you up for
amazing.
success.
Honestly, it's amazing. Well, now that you know who all is here, let's dive into the vitals. If you've never listened to the show before, we're going to tell you everything you need to know about the movie, and then we'll tell you how it qualifies to be on Bad Movies Rule, because I feel like this is going to be one of those movies where people are like, what in the frickety frick are you guys talking about? National Treasure?
I was kind of curious about that myself.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, I was too, actually.
Like, this movie's
I asked
successful.
I asked the question.
6.9.
Yes. Okay, so movie was
What's my
directed.
bad movie this month, James?
Yeah.
Like, no, this is the bad movie.
You always complain you're getting put on bad movies.
No. That's what I was saying. When we talked the other day, I was like, well, what's my bad movie this month? I thought this was GMR. I was-
That's there you go.
You know, I've never been on GMR. I only get the bad movies.
You've never been on GMR?
No,
I didn't know that.
I've only been able to watch terrible movies this whole time.
I'll keep that in mind for next month. Okay, I promise. Look, the
You're
movie
still
was.
not getting in, but I'll have it in mind.
I'll have it in mind.
I'm just gonna put that right up here on my idea board. Oh,
That's right.
There it goes.
There it goes. Movie was directed by John. Is it Turteltaub? Is that how you say it?
Close enough.
Turtle Tub.
Turteltaub. Broke through with Disney. as the director of Cool Runnings in the early 90s. This is how he got in with Disney.
Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme.
Something,
Get on
something.
up. It's bobsled time.
time.
Cool runnings.
That's right. And more recently, do you know he directed The Meg?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
One of Declan's
So-
favorites.
From Cool Runnings to The Meg. Okay. All right,
Shows
fine.
your range.
Movie was written by Jim who also wrote Rush Hour. That's how it's spelled. Kouf.
Okay. I mean it.
How would you pronounce Kouf?
Cove.
Other than
I would have said Cove.
Cove.
fine.
Whatever. I mean,
Whatever.
English is hard.
I mean, whatever. Yeah. It's-
He wrote. So anyway, back to Jim. He wrote.
It's like
Rush.
making my throat scratchy. I mean, just,
I know I can't do it too many more times.
It's gonna turn into Austin
Do a
Powers.
whole thing. Written by Jim Koff. Rush Hour and Stakeout. He wrote.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and then it was written also along with Jim Cormack and Marianne Wibberley, who we just talked about last week, because they also wrote The Sixth Day, which was the last episode we just did. And then so 2 weeks in a row, we're talking about one of their movies. That's the writing duo, the husband and wife writing duo. Movie starred Bob's favorite actor, one of your favorite actors,
Yes.
Nicolas Cage.
Absolutely.
That's right. Diane
No.
Kruger. What? You came in shooting
guns
bullets.
blazing.
After I got my face taken off, I got back on Con Air. I went to Washington, D.C. to steal the Declaration of
That's
Independence.
literally. I'm just like waiting for that line because it's just so vapid.
So good.
Declaration of Independence.
I was talking like Nick Cage for like the first half of the movie, driving my wife nuts.
Oh, I love it.
And every time he spoke, she started laughing.
Yes, because it's so good.
Because it's so good. She's just so happy about it.
If people can act, they have a responsibility to act.
It's great.
And if they can't, whatever. Go with it.
Whatever, go ahead.
I told you someone was going to steal it.
Yeah, you stole it.
It's yeah, well, technicalities. Anyway, we'll get into all
I
that.
stole it so they didn't steal it.
Yeah, that's in like toddler math, that means you shouldn't get in trouble.
You would think.
Oh, well, I just took it so they wouldn't take it.
I was going to give it back.
Right?
And I really don't want to go to prison.
Right. Also,
Like I shouldn't, right?
Right,
Like this
of
isn't
course.
that big of a deal.
Diane Kruger was in this, and at the time I saw this, had no idea who she was, and then I went and watched *Inglourious Bastards*, and now I definitely know who Diane Kruger is. Is she was Von Hammersmark? I can't remember what her first name is. Bridget. Was it Bridget Van Hammersmark in
I don't,
*Inglourious
I
Bastards*?
don't recall, but she
Got
was in
choked.
she was in the best scene, the bar.
Yeah, in the bar with
Fassbender.
So good.
When can we talk about a Fassbender movie?
Soon, hopefully. He's just in too many good ass movies. That's the problem.
He was great in that really crappy movie, Jonah Hex.
Oh, then you know what? We'll make sure Jonah Hex happens.
Saving grace of that movie.
I've
it on the list.
never seen Jonah Hex. Never.
Terrible movie, but Fassbender was great.
All right. Scene Bean is in this, as Dad used to always call him. Justin Bartha and Harvey Keitel, along with a slew of others. This was $100 million budgeted film that made $348 million.
Just about get it done.
Nice. And as Bob said earlier, it's a 6.9 on IMDb. Guys, that is tied for the 13th highest rated film we've ever covered on Bad Movies Rule. So there's been 12 movies rated higher than that have still made our show.
And how is Rotten Tomatoes wrong on this?
The only other 6.9 we've ever covered was very early on in the show was UHF, was also a 6.9. And so it's tied for that spot with UHF. It also has a 76% audience score. So whose fault is it
Yeah,
that we're
I'm like,
talking about this?
Siskel.
Yeah.
It's probably Nicolas Cage's fault.
It's the critics. These
The
idiots.
San Francisco Chronicle, the Washington Post.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's these idiots. It's a 46%. It's not even close. It's not like, 58. It's just barely rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. It's
Right.
46% by critics on Rotten Tomatoes. And they're generally, they like generalize all of them into one statement. It says, National Treasure is no treasure, but it's a fun ride for those who can forgive its highly improbable plot.
Oh, it's better than Ocean's 11.
So it's a movie then.
Improbable plot? No kidding.
And I agree that it's better than Ocean's 11. I'd watch this over Ocean's 11.
And Ocean's 8.
Yeah.
We could make a $100 million movie with the best star-studded cast about me going to work, and it can be accurate, and it's going to suck the whole freaking time.
Right.
There has to be some improbability into this crap.
Well, this was exactly
We have
how
to
Clint's day is.
We have to suspend some belief.
A little bit. I mean, we won't. That's our show.
Yeah,
but,
that's the whole point. Yeah.
People should.
We're going to point out where they're screwing up. Yeah, but
Like other people should definitely suspend their disbelief.
I mean, I'd suspend my disbelief of the Clinton biography movie here.
yeah, perfect.
I'd watch that.
Add some flying
there's no way his life
saucers.
sucks that bad. He's way too happy all the time. No way.
Like a
Did he
UFO
really-
comes out of the dirt on your
Yes.
track.
That's all we were missing was aliens, I felt
Yeah.
like, from this movie.
Clint
right?
versus aliens in his pajamas.
Nice.
Dude, what if you farmed that dirt one too many times and you disturbed an ancient evil that's buried underneath it?
Well, there you
I just
go.
wrote the movie, took me 4 seconds.
I've already
That's
been all the way down
Tremors.
to concrete.
You've already been down to the concrete?
Yeah, I've already been down to the concrete.
All right.
What if you found a
What if we broke
safe?
through the concrete?
If you broke through the
right. There we
concrete
go.
and found Capone's millions?
Oh.
The Umbrella Corporation is down there.
No, we just seal that back
the
up.
entrance-
Yeah, the entrance to the hive.
Just seal that back up.
Nope,
Sealing it.
Nope.
No,
Hopefully
I,
there's like,
I don't need any inflatable gates built today.
Yeah.
why is there a screen door?
There very
on
well
this?
may be Capone's millions there. The building is for sale, however. If you want to contact us, BMR.
Are you selling
You
the
can
building?
search for no.
Oh, I didn't know
mean, if somebody thinks the millions are there and they want to pay for it.
Perfect, perfect. Well, look, there's not any millions hidden anywhere that we know about. We're a blue collar podcast and we're kept alive by the patrons. And so just want to take this minute to say thank you to everybody that's currently supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/badmoviesrule. Just thanks to everybody that's listening. If you want to connect with the show, email us at thisshowIstrash@gmail.com, or you can call 262-757-8567. Leave us a voicemail. We'll answer both the emails and the voicemails on one of our standalone mailbag segments. And if everybody's out there that's listening, whether you've been listening for a little bit or a long time, so it's something you could do for us today. If you want to show some support for the show, tell a friend, man. Send that link. You guys are listening right now on something, whatever platform you use. Shoot that link in a text message to somebody. Tell a friend about BMR. Help us to spread the word. We would greatly appreciate it. After that, though, guys, let's step aside for a second and pay some bills. All right, it's time
That was
get
a
this
long
show
break.
on the road. I know, it's a whole minute and a half, probably, something like that. Thanks, Culver's or whoever. I get a lot of Culver's ads when I listen to the show.
Yeah, I
I
do
think
too.
everybody gets a different stuff.
We should get Blue Chew
Well, why?
because we all need boner pills.
Just think a lot of flaccid Johns are listening to the show.
100%. You ever seen that Discord?
Sid John.
Have you seen the comments in that Discord?
Yeah.
They're flaccid.
You guys ready to jump in?
Yeah.
Do it.
Awesome. The movie opens with a kid, which I would say maybe supposed to be a young Nicolas Cage, but the hairline's just not quite right. I feel like by the time he was 12, it should have still been about here.
I don't know. He looked pretty good, like a young Nicolas Cage.
You think so?
I thought he did.
Oh, all right.
He's kind of pointy, you know,
He's pointy.
and vapid.
It's interesting. I just thought of something. In most Disney movies, they draw the villains to be very pointy and the good people to have very round features. And so
Interesting.
if Nick Cage was in a Disney movie, he'd definitely be the bad guy,
He would, for sure.
right? Because he has very sharp, angular features.
This is a Disney
does.
movie.
I know. This is what made me think of it. But here's Disney live action, and so it's reversed. Sean Bean is very round and soft and cuddly, and I'm going too far down
And
that
he
road.
saved those hobbits.
And he saved those hobbits.
I
with
mean-
5 arrows sticking out of his chest.
Yeah, what more could you ask for?
Kids creeping through the attic. Grandpa from Sound of Music finds him. What are you doing up here? I was like, legit. I was like, oh damn, Chris Plummer was still alive when this movie came out.
He looks great.
And then I found out he was still alive when Knives Out came out. That was his last movie. He lived for a long time.
He did.
Yeah. Love Chris Plummer. He's like, all right, well, I guess it's time you're old enough now to hear the story of whatever it is he's rummaging through up there in the attic. And he sits down and he goes, back in 1832. And I just wanted the kid to be like, damn, you're old, Grandpa. 1832. God damn.
I was awoken in the middle of the night.
No, you asshole. It's not about me. Telling a story about other people. But the last person that was alive that signed the Declaration of Independence, I can't remember what his first name is, but Carroll, I think was his last name, right?
Yeah.
We'll just say Mr. Carroll, was dying and wanted to be brought to the White House where Andrew Jackson was to parlay the final clue. He was the last one alive that knew the clue to where this treasure. And he's like, what treasure? There's a great treasure passed from where they showed like the Egyptians had it. and then it got passed through to the Romans, and then it stayed dormant for a long time until the Knights of the Crusade came through and they discovered it.
Yeah, and then like the Revolutionary War and
That's like the Knights Templar was formed, and then like the revolutionaries in America then had it, and they're like, well, this treasure is too big for any one man. I'm like, yeah, bull crap, right?
Yeah, that's America's founded on.
That's not
We don't
the
want no
Ameri-
treasure.
You know, those founding fathers were just down there on French prostitutes and weed just through that whole treasure. Oh, it's too big for any one person. We split it up. We hit it. It's definitely gone. It's somewhere else. We weren't shooting heroin straight into our eyeballs or whatever the hell they could do. You know, what kind of drugs did they have back in the 1700s?
Heroin.
Did
This
they?
treasure, yeah, sure.
They just had to jab themselves with a stick or something?
Yeah, it
They
was a
didn't
stick,
have
yeah.
Peyote.
peyote.
This treasure sounds like it had its own OnlyFans account, man. As much hands as it's been all over it.
I'm supposed to believe these guys hid it underneath a building somewhere,
Deep.
deep,
Yeah.
5 stories down.
and didn't spend it all on whores and drugs.
You are supposed to believe that, yes.
No, it was so vast that they ran out of life before they ran out of treasure.
So that's 5% of
they
what
just
the whole
moved
thing.
it so many times that by the time they were done moving it, they all just died.
How the hell did they move all that to America? In boats?
Boats.
In boats. Okay.
Japanese.
Yeah, it was definitely probably Japanese people. The final clue he delivered to his driver is the secret lies, because he had to deliver it to his driver because the president wasn't there. And it was
Right.
It's like, you're the next best.
the grandfather's grandfather.
Yeah, you're just my driver.
The president.
I really needed the president, but you'll do. This is fine.
Like the Secretary of State wasn't around. Like there
Yeah.
wasn't somebody.
No one was in the building at all. The
White House is empty, sir.
Yeah.
Oh crap.
There's also a lot of blood everywhere. Something happened.
Yeah, I'll just tell my driver.
It's fine. It's fine.
Christopher Plummer's grandfather's grandfather, right? And he says the secret lies with Charlotte, and that's the clue. And then he knights him. He knights the kid. So now the kid's a Knights Templar or whatever. And it fast forward to today, and we see Nick Cage and Sean Bean joyriding through the Arctic Circle on one of those
Snowcat.
Jeremy Renner death machines. You know what I mean? Like those are one of the things that almost ran over and killed Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
They're just cooking through the Arctic Circle on this thing.
At like 4 mile an hour.
Yeah, man.
Flying.
They're flying. Those things look fun, dude. I'd want to drive one of those around, especially out there where there's nothing to crash into except like polar bears and
ships,
Eskimos
apparently.
and whatever else. Rocks. What the hell they got up in the vortex up there?
mean,
Nothing.
How many more full Dudikoffs do we need before we can
Go
make this happen?
Go see for ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what, guys? I kind of want to go see what's going on up in the polar caps up there.
You have fun.
Jack Dean's
You
on
have
it.
fun. You can count me
Yeah,
out.
I was going to say, no, thank you.
Perfect.
I'm real good.
They're having a good time. They're broing out. They're giving the nerd in the backseat a bunch of crap for being a computer nerd.
Like, I broke a shoelace this morning.
I know.
Oh,
Shut
okay.
up, Riley.
Shut up, Riley.
I mean, dude's got a hard job. He's got to literally hack the polar cap. You know what I mean? That's hard to do with a computer, right?
Is it?
And that's literally what he's doing. He's trying to hack into the polar ice caps to see where the ship is that they're hiding somewhere.
They were right over the G.I. Joe base, right?
They were right
now.
over. Yes. Yes.
Oh, the floating ice one?
The floating ice base.
Cobra's base is straight underneath
Yeah.
them.
Like Charlotte was like the cap, the dome.
10 feet to the left, and they're hitting the ice caps, and they're like, why are these blinking bombs set in a circle all over the place? Sink the ice!
Yes, because ice sinks
That's
famously.
I forgot about that.
They find a ship full of crusty skeletons.
Yep.
Wow, you just blew right past them finding the ship.
Yeah.
It's like they
found
found
the
it.
ship.
And
We have
then
a
he finds like a 2 by 2 inch square of snow.
Okay.
And he just goes chink chink, and he sprays something on it, and it's like Charlotte.
I told you, because
And you're
Riley
like-
hacked the thing.
Yeah, so he knew. I mean, he pinpointed
Yes.
exactly where it was.
Why
gonna
else
tell
you
them
bring a
where it was.
nerd?
Well, here's the deal.
I guess.
They get out and they're like, yeah, we got to be close.
Yeah.
They get out and they start with regular old metal detectors. Nothing crazy, no anything nuts, just metal detectors.
Yeah.
And they're going around, and in the shot, you can't see the snowcats anywhere.
No.
So I'm led to believe that they were metal detecting a long damn time
Yeah, a really long time.
to find this thing.
I'm glad you stopped me about this, because I was going to say this before I prefaced the whole episode by saying this. But this is one of those very plot thick movies. And so lots of things happen. So that we're not here for 4 hours, I'm going to be zooming a little bit, but That doesn't mean if you got something like that to say, stop me, because I will stop. But otherwise, expect me to be cooking a little bit, or
At
we'll
like
be
4
here.
miles an hour.
We'll be here
Let's
for
go.
a long.
I mean, he already skipped over
time.
John Voight, so
John Voight did show up in the attic.
he did. He skipped right over
You
him.
bastards. You dumbasses. I'm so tired of this treasure bull crap. All right, see you halfway through the movie.
Yep. See you halfway through the movie
by
and
a
a
snake.
pizza.
Hey, Dad, you ruined my life. Come on, son.
Come on, son.
I'm sure he's used to hearing that.
John Voight showing up for the first time since what? He was in Anaconda,
Anaconda.
right?
Anaconda,
Yeah. So,
Enemy of the State.
Really?
good stuff for us. I mean, as far as what we've covered him, but yeah, for sure. All right, so they go down into this ship full of crusty skeletons. I did think that was a funny line when the skeleton pops out and Riley freaks out, right? You handled that well, from the cage, that real dry. They're looking through, obviously they're looking for treasure. All they find is gunpowder and all the barrels and whatever.
Why
except
would the captain be hiding this barrel?
Captain Skeleton's like bear hugging this barrel with a gun.
Could be rum.
Like, could be rum, could be drugs, could be, he's got his weed in there, man. Like, whatever. We don't know.
Eyeball
Could be the
heroin.
remains
That's it.
of his
But no, that's
Polynesian hooker.
Could be naked pictures of the first mate's sister.
Absolutely.
Or carved in rock. What they do back in the 1700s? They carved it in stone.
Hold on, let's ask the mayor.
Yeah.
What they doing? They had papyrus and paper and stuff. So they would have. It would have been a hand drawn portrait of the first mate's sister.
Shut up.
All right.
History nerd.
Awesome.
At the kids'
Nerd.
table. History kid over here.
They find a pipe inside of it, though, right?
Yeah, sort
And there's a riddle on it. It looks like, it's very fancy and engraved, but he's got to cut his thumb and put blood around it and roll it onto a piece of
Right.
papyrus to see what it says, right? And they realize that it's just another clue when Sean Bean is pissed off. You said the treasure was. I can't do a Sean Bean. I wish I could. You
It's
said
really
the
hard to do a
yeah.
Sean Bean
You
impersonation.
said the treasure was going to be here. He's like, no, I said it could be here.
Yeah, I would think that when you're looking at investors for big money for finding stuff like this,
Yeah.
you're going to be awful clear with, let's temper expectations first.
Right.
I know I want
Right.
you on board, but at the same time, don't kill me.
Look, hold on, because there's like 9 more clues before we actually get anywhere. Like everything, and it even becomes a plot point with his father telling him, like, there's always just another clue.
Yeah.
It's just a clue to a clue, and he has convinced himself, Ben's father, that the whole thing was a ploy to keep the British busy, just chasing their tail.
All right, but if Dad spent his whole life searching for this thing,
Yeah.
the clue that was given to great granddad was the truth lies within the Charlotte.
Yeah.
Nobody ever got to clue 2. I spent my whole life, 4
No.
families, nobody got to clue 2. And
No.
it's like, there's always another clue. How the do you know?
Yeah. All right, we're just cutting it loose today. I guess
We have a lot of aggressive.
we'll have
Sorry.
45 minutes to release.
Sorry,
hopefully.
dad aggression.
But you're not wrong. The point stands.
Yeah.
The point stands. Yes.
You
You're
can
not
believe it
wrong.
all you want. I'll
No, that's fine.
self-bleep.
It's all good. It's all good.
You
But you're
son
right.
of a.
How did you not get to clue 2 and then you're complaining about
Right,
there
you're
always
complaining
being
there's
another
always
clue?
another clue. How would you know?
You wouldn't know anything.
They just felt stupid.
Seriously,
There's just always another
this
clue.
is why I thought they just spent the treasure and got wasted on 1700s heroin, which must have been incredible.
Yeah,
because
had
it
to have
wasn't
been.
cut with all that stuff. And they're like, let's just put crazy stuff on the back of money because they were just like, out of their minds, floating eyeballs above pyramids and all kinds of crap. Do you know what I mean?
Speaking
Right.
to us.
Incomplete pyramid eyeball.
Yeah,
Right.
all that stuff. They solve the riddle and they figure out that there is an invisible map on the back of the Declaration of Independence.
Sounds right.
Okay.
I actually, as soon as they wrote out the riddle, I was like, oh, definitely. And Declaration of Independence.
1,000%.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
100%.
Sure.
I got it immediately.
And this is when Sean Bean says, well, we should steal it. Oh, I don't know. No, come on, man. I want you to rub it in all their stupid faces that said you shouldn't be out here looking for this treasure. And he's trying to go to him and he goes, look, I got the means. I can help you. All of my money isn't exactly from legal sources.
I have a
that's-
certain skill set.
That's right. And this is when Ben finally like, no, I don't want anything to do with this. We're not doing it. And then out comes the gun.
Yeah. Suddenly, Ian's just murderous.
What? Everybody
wait.
knew when you saw Sean Bean riding in the tractor with him that he's the bad guy in this movie.
Absolutely.
Like, Sean Bean is never not the bad guy in a movie.
That's not true.
When is he the
He
good guy?
saved 2 hobbits.
He was still the kind of the one.
I
that
mean, he was like on his
He-
way. He fought it.
if I could carry the ring, I will.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, come on.
Trying to
he was
choke out Frodo?
he did.
I know what?
Didn't he try to choke out Frodo?
He did.
A little.
Yeah,
just a little. A little
just a
choking's
little.
not that bad.
Little choking.
A little insight into.
Just give me the ring, Frodo.
Sorry. I tried to take the ring. I wish I could do a Sean Bean.
I tried to take
The little ones.
That's right.
That was actually pretty good.
It took every fiber of my tits to do that one.
There's a lot of fiber
We
in
can
them
tell.
tits. A lot of fiber in them tits.
Stop looking.
You ain't ever gonna
Eyes
stop
up
me,
here.
man.
The standoff, because Ben's a man of principle, the standoff happens and he's like, well, you can't kill me. I have the secret knowledge, right?
I have the secret knowledge.
I
was given to me by. It was given to me by Sean Connery when we were in The Rock.
Only I know the clues. Only I can walk in both worlds.
Ghost Rider. John Sean Patrick Mason, General Shah. Personally, I think you're a idiot.
That's right. That's right. It all comes down to he's holding a flare because he's going to light all the gun. Nick Cage is going to light all the gunpowder everywhere on fire. He's got the gun, and Nick makes his big heroic move and says, I wonder if Shaw can catch, and throws it, but Sean Bean just catches it. And he's like, damn it, I knew I shouldn't have wore that polyester parka today, and the whole thing
Just
Well,
ignites.
he was digging through the gunpowder,
Yes.
so his arm just goes. It's like, this is destined to, is a guarantee when you light this flare that somebody's dying. You've just all been digging through gunpowder.
There's barrels of it.
This is going to go off.
And that's not something that
It's time release gunpowder, at least, though. Thankfully.
Thankfully. But it's not something that becomes inert over time, right? Like it can sit
I
in
mean,
that
it
barrel.
could get wet and suck.
But it's in that barrel, and they just dumped it out dry. Anyway,
Totally fine.
It's fine because Nick Cage and Riley.
Did you just check to see?
Fact check with the mayor.
Over there, like nodded head. He was like,
Yeah,
That's good.
it's okay.
It stayed dry in the barrel.
It doesn't matter anyway, nerd, because Nick Cage and Riley dove behind some old wood.
Yes. So
Yeah.
the whole ship
be
is made
fine.
of wood and steel and everything. It's like, we're going to die. This wood will save us
That's right.
from
And the
blast that
explosion is
explodes
like
the wood.
huge.
Massive explosion.
Massive. And they're totally fine. Not
Yeah.
even a scratch. Like, okay, well, let's walk back to town.
Sean Bean
Yeah.
and his boys are getting out. They're like, let's get out of here before somebody sees the smoke. I'm like, who, a freaking polar bear is going to see the smoke
That's
out here?
exactly my thought. I'm like looking around. I'm like, ain't nobody out here that's going to see any smoke.
No, these polar bears are like, you wait just a damn minute here. Let me get
Hey,
over here.
the polar bear's going to be like, who's cooking a seal over there? Without me.
Polar cop, half bear, half bear, all cop.
That's right. Other polar bear sticks his tongue on the ground. It's gunpowder, sir.
Son of a bitch.
Mixed with heroin.
Maybe we find out the nearest
Heroin bear.
That's a brown.
Heroin bear.
That's a brown, isn't it?
I think so,
From,
yeah.
from another Nicolas Cage movie?
Yes. We find
Of
out
course it is.
there
Or is
is
that
a
Coke in? I don't remember.
there is an Intuit. Is that what it is? There's an Intuit or Inuit.
Inuit.
Thank you. There's an Inuit village 9 miles away. Like that's the closest village. We find out when Nick and Riley get out, and they're like, "Well, let's just walk there, and we'll
It'll be
figure it out.
fine.
It'll be fine." Back in the States, Ben and Riley try to tell the government that someone is going to steal the Declaration of Independence. They go to the FBI, Department of Homeland Security. They're not getting anywhere.
Nicholas Cage
9
is
miles, 15 minutes, no coats.
No, they get there in 15 minutes.
No, 15-minute mile.
Oh, 15
To
minute
walk.
mile. So that's
On good ground.
so 50. So you're talking about 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours, no coats.
Yeah.
If they're on like hard ground and
In
can
the-
actually walk.
On the polar ice caps. Yeah.
They're dicked.
Well, I wasn't going to say, how
Yeah.
these people get about this stuff, but
Yeah.
yes, no way. Although, especially with that exposed hairline that Nick
Yeah.
Cage has,
His head. He's bleeding heat right out.
he's just bleeding right through his ghost skin. That paper thin Casper forehead that he has. It's
like
just
sail.
It's just crapping heat out. Right? Ben and Riley, they finally go to Abigail Chase's office at the National Archives, which is where the Declaration of Independence can be viewed and kept. And he goes in, and this is where Diane Kruger is playing this part, and she's got all of Washington's cufflinks, except she's missing one, and he like rizzes her up, and they nerd out and flirt about Washington's old cufflinks,
Campaign buttons. Close
Well, like-
enough.
buttons, or whatever it is. Yeah,
Her assistant is like, okay, she'll see you now. And then they walk in and she's on the phone. She's like, 1 minute.
yep.
What a assistant.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm like, fire
Crappy.
her right now.
Happy. He tells her someone's going to steal the Declaration of Independence, so we need to examine it. Because they're going to steal it. And she's like, I'm not, why would I let you? First of all, why do you want to examine the Declaration of Independence? He's like, I liked how this played out. I was like, well, there's a cartograph on the back.
Encryption.
An encryption.
Yeah.
Of what? Oh, of a cartograph. She's like, a map. Yeah, and it leads to what? What to items of
value,
value,
and
very
historic importance and
treasure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and it's invisible.
it's invisible.
Right. I was like, and that's where we lost the FBI and the
It's like,
Department of
oh,
Homeland
well,
Security.
do you have the pipe? Can I see
Yeah.
the pipe? We don't have it. She's like, did Bigfoot take it?
That's right. That's right. That's right. It was a decent scene, and ultimately they leave. But he steps into the archives before they walk out the building. He looks at the Declaration. This is where he has his hero moment, right? Where he says, he reads. This is my favorite line. I remember what the line from the Declaration is, but it basically says, "Those with the ability to act have a responsibility to act."
Right.
I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times in my life I've just said that. just for no reason. Just,
Yes.
I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
It's something about the way Nick Cage says it specifically, because I feel like
That
if
makes
it's
it so terrible.
if it's or awesome, Clooney,
It's awesome.
or if it's Brad Pitt, or if it's I think whatever a big movie star from that time is, it's not the same for some reason, because Nick Cage, there's like this thing inside of him that everything he says sounds a little bit crazy. And
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And so you add
that's
that
fair.
flavor into it.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's going to steal the Declaration, I just think is part of why this line specifically turned into a whole thing bigger than the entire movie.
and the fact that he's dressed like a porn director.
Might have something to
You
do
know?
with it too. I don't know.
Why did
Why did it have to go to porn?
Yeah, well, that's.
Did you see his outfit? Chest hair popping through.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
The black blazer with the white shirt.
Oh, he did have the
and
collar outside the
tucked
jacket.
into his jeans.
You're right. You're right.
All right, poor director vibes. I get it.
This is where we get the classic heist breakdown. They go back outside, and Riley starts to break down. Every time they did this in Mission Impossible. They did it in Ocean's 11. Here's why it's impossible to steal the thing.
Right.
If you get past the cameras and the guards and the little 8th graders on their 8th grade field trip, and then the thing's got heat sensors that it detects somebody. If they've got a bad cold, it'll know that they're there. Right. And then if you look into the eye, they got the eye beams, or it'll, I don't know, laser you in the balls or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many ridiculous. And this contraption, if you walk past this line, it trips a laser, and trained mice will run up and explode in your asshole or whatever it is.
Again.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Friggin'
Happened
Tuesday.
one time.
there's,
Happened one time.
butthole.
there's always so many ridiculous upon ridiculous. If this person's body temperature 3 states away that monitors this system changes by a single degree,
And their head explodes.
their head explodes. It's so stupid, but I love it.
This one triggers Joe Biden for a conversation.
That's right. Listen here. I'm serious. Somebody's going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Sir, we didn't
Okay.
find the information credible.
Listen,
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
it's bad for the economy. It hurts everybody. Okay. I don't know why I started doing that.
Keep doing it.
He goes, he has this line where he says, Edison failed 200 times to make a light bulb. He didn't say he failed 200 times. He said, I discovered 200 ways not to make a light bulb. And this is his way to say there's only has to be one way to make it work. And he brings up the preservation room as their way that they're going to get in, which is the room they take it to whenever something happens.
I like how in the Congressional Library they have these step-by-step books of how to rip off the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah,
Right? It was all there.
I was wondering if
Like,
is there like
were they
a
all
book for
next to each other? You know,
Fort
it was-
Knox is here, the White House is here.
So you got to get it's like a step-by-step, like a PS1 guide of how to do Final Fantasy
I get
VII.
the strategy guide.
The strategy guide.
to ripping off the Declaration of Independence. Yeah, he's like, doesn't he say like short of construction blueprints, we've got pretty much everything that we need?
Yeah,
here?
yeah, it's right next to the Stingray 75 Stingray manual.
Perfect. Yeah, and this is where we get our montage. I love montages. This is the montage of them testing out all their gadgetry and doing the things, and he's
and aren't they like broke though? Like, where did they get all this gadgetry?
I think Ben's got some money, or maybe Riley does, but they don't have a lot. But he's got. He sends her the pin because he wants to get her prints off of it. So he
Yeah,
puts
he has
this like
this-
fingerprint juice.
Yeah, this powder that basically like illuminates her fingerprints. And
I did like how Riley was using a laser to heat up the heat sensors right when this old lady was like looking at the Declaration. I just wanted the guards to come out and Terry Tate, office linebacker, just like forearm shiver, come out and just take this grandma.
Let's go, Winona.
Simon Pegg from Hot Fuzz's drop kicks her around.
Just drop because it sets it off. Well, did you see that old lady was just looking right at it?
Oh, damn. What is this?
Get her! Boom! That would have been incredible.
Eat it, Granny.
Right? It did. Does that real? I mean, who knows? Did the thing just like retract down into the floor?
Well, we
He
can make
should go
Let's do a
find
BMR
out.
field trip, and then you can stand too close to it.
I've got a laser.
And I'll just go.
We'll bring a laser.
I just want to see it go down. I just want to see it go down in the vault.
You
give
just
me
make it go down. You can put it right back up.
Give me a second.
Okay, please.
Do I have to actually break it for it to go down
Yeah.
there?
Off, Nicolas Cage. We're not falling for that again.
All right, we'll get to the heist. Janitor Nick Cage, dressed like a janitor, sneaks in and then changes into a tuxedo in the bathroom. He goes and meets Abby on the dance floor and toasts with her because he needs her glass that's got her thumbprints on it. I did think his champagne toast was a little on the nose when he's like, to high treason. Were people that, at the time had to do something really, really bad, but they did it for the right reasons, like stealing the Declaration of Independence. I mean, he like stopped just about a hair short
Right.
of just being super obvious what he was there.
By the
He
way,
did a t-shirt in one of the scenes that just
Yeah.
like he goes and his shirt flaps open. It's like you can see half of the steal the Declaration of Independence.
Their whole heist plan.
Right, yeah.
Right. Written step by step.
The instruction manual for how to get it is tattooed on his T-shirt.
There. He gets her print and puts it on a thumb rubber and, all this stuff. And they're being very technical and stealthy. Meanwhile, Sean Bean and his guys are just like blowing holes in the sewer and tasing guards.
Nobody knows.
That's great. Like just a little less of finesse.
I know, I love it.
I really liked that. Like back and forth.
The back and forth was good.
I'm just curious. I never figured out why they were going to the preservation room. How were they going to get it from where it was to the preservation room?
Yeah, we never get to see their montage or their plan or anything. Maybe they had a plan to get it from the preservation room.
They were just
We
going to
don't
push
get to see
the
it.
retract button.
Yeah.
Like literally just bring it
Right.
bring it down here.
Bring it down here, please. Thank you. Riley's trying to hack the password, and this is where he uses his you don't have to hack the password when you are the password. Nick Cage just uses
Valley
it.
Forge.
It's Valley Forge.
She pressed the E and the L twice.
I am the computer.
That's kind of sounding Seagalish there.
I know, a little bit. I can't do it. They get in the preservation room. Ben gets in there and starts unscrewing the cover with his DeWalt that he
The
smuggled up
slowest
his ass.
Black & Decker 2-volt freaking screw gun you've ever.
That thing's cutting out at least twice.
Yeah, right.
can't-
Half a screw. Unbelievable.
Start doing with your finger, man. Once it
Yeah.
gets out a certain distance,
Ain't
you're
no one
much
satisfied
faster.
with that.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Flip the whole thing over. Start working on multiple at the same time.
Come on.
Are you
man.
the only
We
one
needed
that
a
got
NASCAR
I said that. I was like,
Okay,
caught that one.
I thought no one got it.
Clint would have had that out in about 4 seconds. That's what I thought when I was watching this thing. I'm like, that must have drove him crazy when he was watching this part.
I was like, oh my God, he's going to be out of here. The movie could be over before the Shaw even
Right.
gets here.
Meanwhile, Steph drops sexual innuendos.
And no one
Oh,
got
I
it.
missed it. I'm sorry. We'll have to, when I listen back, I'll catch it and I'll laugh to myself. Just, Riley loses the camera feed because at this point, Sean Bean's guys took over the camera feed. And this is where
Yeah.
he's like, get out of there. I'm blind. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know where anyone is.
So Nick Cage is like, I'll just take the whole thing. And I'm like, do you need a dolly, buddy? It's like just this humongous.
Big old piece of 2-inch
Riley with
bulletproof glass.
Is it heavy?
It looks like it must be. I'm thinking of Bob with his furniture straps that you got to use to get furniture up places. And he just walks down the hallway with it like, la, 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 la.
I don't use furniture straps.
Well, you don't, but normal humans need them. Right? The people aren't just raw powered machista warriors. Like you are.
It's the beard.
That's what it
It's
is.
the beard.
He gets it in the elevator. He's about to get to the elevator when Sean Bean's crew comes on the other side of the hallway, and now they know each other are here.
It would be awesome if he gets in and there's some little kid that pushed all the buttons.
Right? Oh, like an elf. And he
Yeah.
just went
That's why
up
it's
the
taking it
elevator.
forever to get here.
Come on, man. I love the fact that the Declaration thing is bulletproof comes into play here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Shaw starts shooting immediately, and Bean's like, "Hey, knock it off!" Because if we please don't shoot him. We need the freaking thing. He gets in the elevator. In the elevator, he's able to get the rest of the screws out and shoves the Declaration into like a poster tube, and then
He
puts
didn't
it in
have
his,
that with him.
Yeah.
He might have, but I didn't see him carrying a poster tube with him.
Yeah, it was straight up his butt.
But like, how fast is this elevator? Or how
Not
many
very, 'cause he
floors
didn't
are they
get the
going through? It can only be like 2.
Based on how long those screws took to get out, he had 47 floors he had to go up very slowly.
That's right. And he just miraculously
Done.
done, and it's fine. And then no one checks the elevator that there's just giant empty case with bullets in
Bullet
it.
holes in it.
You're like, wait,
I'll just leave this in here. Is this
yeah,
cool?
this
I'm going to
doesn't
go to the
seem
gift
right.
shop real quick.
Yeah. And then like you can get away from everybody. You can't get away from the clerk at the gift shop. Okay?
Excuse me, sir. Are you trying to steal that?
Because they sell the
already
declarations, right?
I already did. Get out of here.
So funny that you phrased it that way. Because yes, but I'll pay for this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because she
Can I
thinks
get
it's a
2?
decoy.
Actually,
Right.
has to use a credit card.
I have 32.57.
$35 to buy a fake version of the Declaration of Independence.
I have the real one here. Isn't that good enough? I should get a
What's
free.
this worth?
This is worth way more. Some would say priceless. Just that a cop who's on like sewer patrol or whatever sees the grate that's been blown in,
Right.
by Sean Bean's crew, and now the cops are all swarming all over the place. He's trying to dip out of there because Abigail Chase is starting to get nosy because she finds out he's not on the guest list or whatever.
And he's doing some creepy walking around.
Yeah. He finally gets out and across the street to the van, and she chases him out there, argues with him, and he comes back out of the van with the tube still in his hand. She grabs it away from him, and he's like, oh, darn. That should have been the first clue right there.
Yeah.
You didn't just go tackle her and take
He's
it
like,
back.
here, just take it, go.
Bye.
And then the alarm goes off, and they're just like, okay, well, we're gonna go.
She gets snatched up by Sean Bean, who's also coming out, and then a car chase ensues because he does. I mean, at this point, you don't know her for anything. other
Right.
than
You don't owe
both-
her aside from she's cute.
You both like Washington's buttons, and she's mildly attractive. Why are you have a Declaration of Independence in your possession? Go.
That's
Yeah.
just like showing that he's a good person, and like he
Yeah.
just stole it to protect it. So it's like, let's make sure to,
Right.
get her and help
That's
her
what the
survive.
movie's trying to convey.
But I like that they're speeding away very conspicuously.
Oh.
Both cars. And then there's cops everywhere.
Right.
And the cops are just flying right by them. Like, no, I'm sure that you guys are probably fine. You're speeding away like you just did something very wrong.
Well, the bad guys are in like a food truck, and as
Yeah.
they rip through this construction site, and as they do that, like the freaking the oven tops are flying off and stuff and everything, and it's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They're having this whole chase through the city, and at no point are the cops ever like, "There's a chase happening right now."
From two vehicles that were at the
right.
event.
event. Yeah.
She ends up swinging off the door that's open out the back of this bread truck that they're driving in. And Nick Cage's stunt double is out there trying to save her. And eventually it splits up. Like they save her, but he gets the poster. And they separate and drive off in different ways. We lost him, sir. It doesn't matter. We've got the Declaration.
And he really doesn't give like a crap about it because he's like, this is all we need. And he just rips it out of the thing and just goes and like opens it. And it's the fake one. But
Right.
yeah, he just did not care at all.
Oh, no,
He was
no.
just going to destroy it. And it's like,
Right.
you still need to like know what's on the back of it. You can't just rip it
Exactly.
apart now.
I think you know immediately whether it's on animal hide or paper.
You think so?
Yeah.
It'd have a different feel because that poster would have been like on
geez.
some glossy matte, actually more of a matte finish poster printed on there, and still charge $35 for it, even though it
Poster
was
nerd
cost
over here.
all of $1.50 to make.
Well, you know a lot about a little man.
I do.
I'll tell you. That's awesome.
That's my claim to fame. You don't get elected without knowing a lot about a little.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
The wolf from Pulp Fiction shows up at the National Archives. He's like, I hear you've got a frame in the basement minus a declaration. Take me to it. They go down there, and I was so thrilled to see Harvey Keitel show up in this movie.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's great. And he's the lead investigator going to be tracking everybody down here. And I love how the FBI guy goes, sir, we actually got a tip that somebody was going to steal the Declaration of Independence, but we didn't find it credible. And I like how Harvey's like, how about now? Now do you find it?
Well,
find it credible now?
Maybe
Yeah.
a little.
Right. Abby tries to get away multiple times. She tries to steal it. She kicks off her shoes, tries to run while they're parked. Ultimately, she decides to stay with them because she doesn't want to leave the Declaration of Independence in their hands alone, even though he's trying to tell her over and over again that I care about this thing. I'm trying to protect it. I stole it so that they wouldn't steal it or whatever. All the BS.
Well, she's kind of in the same mindset as him in a sense because she's like, I'm going to stay to protect the Declaration of Independence.
Right.
Which is incriminating me.
Right.
1,000% because I am now an accomplice.
She's like, this
But
is going
it's
to get me fired.
It's right. When they're doing the chemicals, she's like, oh, I'm so getting fired for this. I'm like, prison is also a thing that you are going to go to.
We're way past that.
Yeah. It's like none of them even think about it.
No.
Like just, oh, this will be okay. Everything
No,
is
it's
going to be
fine.
fine in
Well,
the end.
if they get the treasure, they'll have so much money.
From jail.
Right.
From like I can buy my way out. I need like Bill Murray from Kingpin. I can
Exactly.
finally kill somebody and get away with it.
They ultimately realize they need the silence do good letters, which are written by Ben Franklin. And so we got to go to my father's house because I can't go back to my house where I have the copies and the clean room set up because I had to use my credit card like a dumbass. We can't go back there. So we got to go to John Voight's house to go here to get these.
She pregnant?
That was the most insane.
She pregnant? Do I really look pregnant?
No! They open the door and that's the first thing. Dad, I'm in trouble. Is she pregnant? I'm like,
Also, how old is Nicolas
He's
Cage?
that's what I was gonna say. He's 40
it's not
years
like
old.
Not like he's 16 years old. He's
The
like,
hell?
hey, Dad, I'm in trouble. I was like, oh, is she pregnant?
Right.
It's like, he's like 45.
that's what I'm saying, dude.
Be like, if she is, it's probably okay.
Yeah, they'll get over this.
Yeah.
She's got a job.
Thing.
She's got a good job.
She's
Well,
got
she
a good
did.
job.
She's got a
She
good
did.
job.
Well, she doesn't have the job anymore.
No, I mean,
And
she still does as
and she'll
of this
probably be
point.
going to prison.
Yeah.
Probably not.
The papers have not been filed.
John Voight, because this is his whole character, spends the first 5 minutes of there talking about what a disappointment his son is and everything. And
How nice.
It's better
He's
not
such,
be
such
about
a sweet dad.
that stupid treasure. No, you've thrown your whole life away.
It's
Anyway,
definitely not, but here's the Declaration of Independence. Can we have some lemons?
I'll be in here. I love that he doesn't know what the piece of paper is they've got on his spread.
His
on
reaction
dining
was
room table.
great.
Gotta
When he
need some
found-
heat.
I was like,
When he grabs
Easy, no semen on the Declaration. Dad,
we're doing something.
Dad, the pizza.
the meatloaf! Mom!
I love how Dad's just kind of doddering around the house, and
Yeah,
he's just like,
like-
go to sleep, go to bed, Dad, or something.
He's still interested.
He's so bored. He's
Like,
like, this
there.
is the most exciting thing that's happened to me in a
This is
really
the crap
long
we get to look
time.
forward to,
Yes.
guys.
Oh, I know. This is
Look forward
Kind
to.
of already.
We're already in our 40s. We've been
say,
doing this
we're
for 10
already there.
years. You're on the verge.
Yeah, I'm on the verge of something. I'll say that much.
Well, yeah. They grab a bowl of lemons and some Q-tips. They go into the diner room, and bro is about to hit this declaration like it's a bowl of calamari with this freaking lemon squeeze.
And he's supposed to be like this smart, like tactful person. He's just like,
about to go. She's like, no, let somebody that knows how to handle ancient documents do this, please. And she gently brushes the top corner to look for a symbol.
watermark
And this
or
is when
whatever,
Dad goes, you need heat. And this, I feel like more than anything, this was the start of their, feelings for each other when the two of them
I
bent
can't wait
over.
to smell your breath.
And they bent over and just breathed hot breath into each other's mouths.
Did you have shrimp scampi?
Oh God, is that onion?
It was the weird. They just both, and their mouths are pointed right at each other.
Pasta
like-
salad.
And they like turned to each other first. They're like,
Right.
That's not enough.
we need more heat.
Bring Riley into this.
That moment. Riley, get down here.
Riley, get down here. We gotta do an Eiffel Tower.
We need more heat.
That moment when you breathed your hot breath down my throat. I knew it was love.
It was love.
By the way, I have strep.
I don't care. You're gonna have herpes. I wouldn't care.
We're gonna be together forever.
We need to generate more heat on top of this Declaration of Independence. Say less, Dad.
They should have just banged
Dad,
on
can
it.
you go somewhere real
They
quick?
should have just banged on it.
That's not what I meant, son.
That's exactly
This
what you
is
meant.
never salvageable.
It's always just another clue.
But
You don't
good
think that thing had bangable juice on that thing when they first wrote it in 1776?
Good news is we can read all the clues. Bad news is we have to throw this thing out.
Torch
After
it.
this is done.
Light it on fire.
We shouldn't give this back. We really shouldn't. It's going to be bad for everybody.
Would you take back the Declaration if it had semen on it?
Depends on
We're not
who's.
putting it under a black light. It'll be fine.
Turns out the letters are a cipher.
An Attendorf cipher.
Where are the letters? They're like, so where are the Silence Dogood letters? Because that's the cipher for the code or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like,
The Dudikoff?
I donated
The
them.
Silence Dudikoff letters?
Did I say Dudikoff?
No, you said I was just making it.
Oh, the duty. The silence.
The
silent
duty
duties.
letter.
Do good.
All right, I'll shut up.
Silent. No, don't shut up. I thought I said Dudikoff.
I just saw it.
Silent Dudikoff.
He's
I
like,
thought he was
believed it
making
too.
a.
That's the American Ninja 1 letters because he was a silent Dudikoff in that.
And there's an imprint of him doing the karate moves.
I thought he was making a reference to the code.
That's exactly.
Stamp of the Dudikoff.
Here's the cipher of the code.
That'll cost you $100.
All right. He says, I donated them to the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia. This is what John Voight tells him. And then they tie his ass to a chair to not implicate him, and they leave. Let's go to the Franklin.
He's
With
so
the remote
nonchalant
and a
too.
sippy cup.
Right, like the FBI comes
Sun.
in and he's like, "Oh, FBI, can you untie me? They're gone. I don't know where they went." Like,
That's right.
Okay, sure you don't.
Right. Why do you have a juice box?
No reason.
At the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia, how important is the next clue? It's only everything rides on them finding the next piece. So how important is it? They let Riley just pay some kid to figure it out while the two of them have a like romantic conversation in adjoining changing rooms at the cowboy store, right?
Right.
Like this is
So your dad asked if I was pregnant. Is there a question there? There's a good story there.
right. I'm like, this was more important to them getting their cowboy clothes than going
And she's awful trusting already. Be like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm going to change clothes entirely. I'm going to get butt naked.
Yeah.
And you are capable of just going peek
just right over
right
the top
over.
of that thing.
Nicolas Cage is pretty tall. He's probably going to
is.
peek on over.
Probably.
But she's like, it was your hot breath.
That's what it was.
I can't stay away.
They even do the little cutesy cutaway to the feet underneath,
Yeah.
the thing where she's standing like with her feet up, and it's like, okay. What? Meanwhile, Riley's paying some kid to get the next clue. Like the whole thing is riding on this.
And Riley's just like kind of in danger also. Like they're all
Sean
kind
Bean
of
is kind of
constantly
there.
in danger.
But they're able to get the letters, which basically lead them to Independence Hall, which is where the signing of the Declaration of Independence happened and where the Liberty Bell was.
Right.
Sean Bean gets the same information because he kind of comes right after that and just pays that same kid $100.
For the last word.
For the last
from the word
word.
stow.
And Riley
He's like,
couldn't
oh, I
figure
got
out-
this.
He had the entire rest of the puzzle. And he's like, what are these last four
Yeah.
letters? What is this word?
The House of Passants.
And like he finally figures it out, and then
because a
Ian's
bus
like-
drives by
Yeah.
with the Liberty Bell in his face.
Like,
So he
okay.
bails.
And then Ian's just like, Stowe. Got it. Let's go. Liberty
Just-
Bell.
Well, he Googled it. So
Oh,
here's
did
the
he?
thing. It's just like, oh, aren't these guys so smart? And Riley goes, I wish I was as smart as you guys. Sean Bean's as far as them with Google and $100.
Right.
Okay. And he's as far as they are.
He's Sean Bean.
That's what I'm saying.
That was old Google, though. It's messed up now. I almost made you bleep more.
Maybe it was Ask Jeeves.
Yeah. Oh, I remember Ask G.
Ask Jeeves.
You used to actually get answers from the internet. Now they want to sell you something.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like,
I'll sell you a pass.
stow. Here's how you stow stuff. And these are some storage bins. And
Yeah.
it's just like,
This is your portable
Store-
penis enlarger pump with the
Store
Liberty
your
Bell.
body.
That's for the
Here.
container store now.
That's just a joke. He's just saying a joke there.
that's a hilarious thing he says sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
One of his jokes.
We never had that ad.
They find, so the clue is the shadow passes the house of Pass and Stowe and at a certain time, and so he uses a water bottle to zoom in on the clock on the back of a $100
like,
bill to know that it's 2:22.
Oh, man, it's 2:45. We're too late.
No, well, daylight savings time didn't exist then.
All right. Here's why this movie is on our show, right? This is the scene. Everything else is completely legit.
Oh, you got a problem with this?
This is the reason why this movie's on our show, because
right, let
we're
me
going to suspend all disbelief, but then we're going to put back in that it's so important that, oh, daylight savings time, we have the correct time. Nowhere do they talk about what day, month, anything like that, because that matters more
Yeah.
than the hour of time
Right.
from time change.
Is it the winter?
Yeah.
Is it the spring?
We need to know what day so for this to point in the right spot.
right. If it's April 15th,
How tall was the person who was looking through this damn thing? Because that's going to matter a lot.
right? If it was
No, they're
March,
there. Perfect time of day, perfect time of the season.
Yes.
Plot armor.
awesome.
Yeah, daylight savings time. I know something that you don't. This is how you feel all the time?
Yeah. Cool. But I didn't even think about the time of year.
Yeah.
That's absolute, or height, or all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, it's like we have to like suspend all disbelief, but now we have to hardcore lay into science,
It's the wrong.
but not the rest of this science.
He's 5'10", but the dude was 6'4", and so he's chiseled every brick out of Independence Hall. Except for the
right-
bricks that are right in that ring. He's like, I can't find it. It doesn't make any sense.
Can't reach it.
Every day it's a different brick too. He comes back the next day at the same time. It's like, no, it's right there. I was right there yesterday. I know
I
it.
chiseled out this brick. He's going to come back in construction gear. They're just going to assume he's working on the building.
He gets older, his back hurts, so he's hunched down one day. It's like, son of a bitch.
Like, wait
Yes.
a minute.
Yes. All right. They run up to Independence Hall. Have you guys ever been to Independence Hall? It's one of the only places I've ever been to.
No.
That's in this. It's really actually very cool. For me, a history nerd, not on the level of the mayor, but have you ever been there?
I have not. It's one of my places I need to go.
It's really cool. Something weird happened. I didn't think it'd be a big deal. It's just a building. When you go into the room and you're like, I'm standing in the room where they signed the Declaration of Independence. These same people were standing right here. It's kind of mind blowing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of small. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Right? Like the famous picture of all of them signing. It's like, this is that room. The first Continental Congress gathered there. They got that like horseshoe where they all sat and everything. It's crazy. Crazy. So go to Independence Hall if you haven't yet. Besides that, they get there.
That's all just stuff from movies, James.
No, it's true.
Not real.
It's true. They get up there. They find where the shadow's pointing, and he chisels out a brick like we've been talking about. And they find this old pair of 3D glasses.
Basically, yeah.
Basically, right? And they go to the sign room, and they open it up. And this is where Nick is like, oh, God. The last time this was opened. What did he say?
Last time this was in this room, it was being signed.
It was being signed.
I doubt that's true, too, by the way.
I just thought about this.
Right.
I bet you it was there for a couple of weeks before they moved it off to someplace else.
When did Ben Franklin and these crazy people embed this stuff? Like, was it just a regular blank piece of paper when they all signed it? And then he took it and he was like, I just need to take this to do some things to it.
There might be jizz on it later. Don't ask questions.
I mean, it's like, come on. These wig-wearing crumpet monkeys put a 3D embedded LSD message in the back of this freaking thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, when? When did this happen?
When did they bury this treasure?
That was like a magical
How
hide.
long was the
It was
war?
a magical animal hide that had holographic information.
It was revolutionaries that did this.
It was
This
probably
the
from a
Declaration.
unicorn.
It was it, right? This is when they, yes. What? So that's what I'm saying. Did he do it after? Did he say like, thank you for signing this. Give me 6 days. I'll bring this back, or whatever.
But when did they bury the stuff?
Right. Because the clues had to be in there.
We had to know where it was to make the clues to work back to do this.
Right. When?
Yeah.
Or did he do it beforehand? He's like, hold on, I got a really special piece of paper we got to use for the declaration.
And then somebody makes a mistake on the front. It's like, we need another paper. No. We'll just change the wording of this and make it really vague.
We'll just make it so no one
right.
can understand it ever.
No, not that side. Flip it over. That side. Okay, thank you. It's
You're
just,
good.
I have so many questions about how they were able to pull
Like,
this off.
we got if they run out of space at the bottom. It's like, no, just keep signing here on this side. We can't flip it over.
Can't go over the other side? No, don't do it. Ben, you're being so weird about this. Okay? Earl Franklin's such a weirdo. Let me tell you.
You know what? Just sign over John Hancock's name, but you cannot use the back.
Right, when John signed so big, Ben Franklin was in the back going, damn it! Small signatures, you guys.
Small handwriting.
6-point font.
Don't anybody sign as big as he just did. Everybody else, wait. John's
Dickhead.
like, I didn't know I was the first one.
There was like 5 more people that had to sign, and he's just like pushing them out of the room.
We only need 55. Just put there's 60 here, but we only need 55. Just get rid of them back there.
So many
They
questions
have weird names anyway.
about the practicality of this whole plan.
Stephanopoulos, you gotta go.
You got to get out of here.
There's no
Get
way in
outta
hell
here.
you're signing this thing. I'm sorry. Tell
7
your-
letter name or last name letter limit on the last name. 7
Yeah.
letters.
Lee,
That's it.
Lee, you're
All
up
right,
here.
Who has
Yeah,
last
get
name of
Lee.
7 or less?
John
7 or
Adams,
less.
all you guys are good.
Okay, you guys are good. If I didn't call out your number,
Drop the
you can
Quincy.
leave. Good. Better luck next year.
Betty White, you're still alive. Sign.
We have to let Jefferson sign it. He wrote the thing. Okay, I know it's a long ass name. Just put Tom. Tom Jefferson.
Yeah.
There you go.
Tom Jeff is good. T Jeff.
TJ.
T. Dot Jeff.
TJ. Just TJ.
Oh my gosh. Get George's ass out of here. Okay, he's not doing this. Too much. All right. Sean Bean shows up, so they got to split up, right? They're like, we got to separate. I'll run this way. And, Shaw, or no, not Shaw, Phil and some other guy chase after Ben. And then other people chase after Riley and Abigail.
And this is just like purely for conflict.
Yes.
Like, I know that eventually they kind of come together,
Well, the whole movie is a chase scene. The whole movie's
But
a
like
chase scene.
honestly, at the point where he was standing there with the Declaration of Independence in front of the elevator,
Yeah.
Sean Bean could have just been like, "Oh well, I mean, you have it. So do you want to just like team up again?
team back
I
up
can
again?
get us out of here, and you won't even be noticed. So let's just go on up, and we
Right.
can just work this out. It's all going to be fine."
Yeah.
But no, there has to be conflict.
It's like a principal thing for him or something.
And there's like 5 different times when like they're completely scot-free and away from these people, and it's like, oh no, yep, you caught him again. I saw your foot.
I saw, yeah.
It was pretty good though.
It was pretty good.
And Nicolas Cage like,
see
man, I
your
thought it was
shoe."
smart.
On
How have they
Nick's-
gotten here?
On Nick's end, they try to shoot him up at a cemetery there. He takes one guy out in the cemetery. He hits him in the face. Then he climbs up some scaffolding, and Phil chases him up to the roof of the building.
Come on!
And I did like that they know each other. It's not like nameless, faceless
Right.
henchmen. He's like, "Come on, Phil!" Like he calls the henchman by name because they've been all working together.
Right.
So he's like, "Come on, man, just give me the declaration." And he's like, "All right, fine." And he throws it, so Phil's got to dive after it, and then he disappears. And Phil, of course, it's empty. I'm like, "Oh, Phil's ass is getting fired for sure."
Maybe murdered.
Maybe murdered. Meanwhile, Riley and Abigail, keep away for a little while. They have that whole thing where he's like, "I'm hiding from my ex-husband" or whatever.
She was my favorite character.
in the meat market.
It's like,
Yeah.
do you want something? He's like, shut up.
Yeah.
I see why you left him.
That's right. Perfect. But they end up getting spotted like 4 seconds after that anyway when Riley finds her.
Why didn't they just like stay and hide?
Right, just hide
Whatever.
longer. These guys are
they're
going to
running
leave.
around everywhere. Just stop moving.
Or just walk
Yeah. Just stay there for an
Just
hour.
walk. Like people.
Right. Blend in. Take your jacket off. Blend in.
Right. Just
Go to Blockbuster.
Go to Blockbuster.
Put Bob's hat on.
Seriously. Dress like
no.
Bob.
That's way too conspicuous.
Dress like Bob.
Dress like Bob.
Ultimately, though, the other two are chased and they are caught up with and have to cough up the declaration to Sean Bean. So he has it now. Ben gets arrested. They're going back to his car. This is where he's now being interrogated.
Be careful
by
with those glasses.
Harvey Keitel. Yeah, I know, right? Real careful. They're old, dude. I did like the scene, the short interrogation scene where Harvey's like, help me out here, man. Because he tells him the whole story off camera, thank God. And he's like, well, door number 1, you go to jail for a very, very long time. Or door number 2, you help us find the declaration and you still go to jail for a really long time, but you feel better about it in your heart, right?
Yeah.
Effortlessly acted by
Yeah.
Harvey
Oh, it's like
Keitel.
he's not even trying. That's
Yeah, that's what's so great about
such a
it.
good point.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's just being he's just doing it.
Acting is truth, and those guys that can do it so naturally that you don't even feel like they're acting.
Yeah. Harvey Keitel, I think I said this before on the
Yeah.
show, is way better than De Niro.
Oh, I'll take Keitel over De Niro all day.
Yes.
All day.
All day long.
As soon as he showed up, I was like, oh, awesome. I had no idea he was in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a small, thankless role.
He reprised his role through the Disney Plus series.
Did he really?
He did.
Oh, awesome. And ultimately, he finally says to him, like, is there a door? He goes, is there a door number 3 where I don't go to jail for a long time? He goes, somebody's got to go to jail.
I love that line. Someone's got to go to jail.
Do you have a helicopter? I can help you with that.
Right. I love that. This is when Abigail and Riley have no choice but to enlist Sean Bean's help to break him out of FBI custody. And so Sean calls him there and says, meet me in New York on the bridge of this aircraft carrier.
See, and that just seems like Abigail, she was not a part of this. She just was at her job, and
Yeah.
now she's like, we need to break him out of FBI custody. Like, wow,
that's a quick
you
180.
are
In for a
very
penny, in for a
invested.
pound. Right?
Yeah,
But what
like-
else? She's pot committed at this point, I feel
They
like.
they breathe on each other.
They
It's like a mating
changed.
bond.
They breathed hot breath down each other's throats.
It's almost like
It was
Avatar's.
naked within 6 feet of each
The
other.
amount of breathing, how close they were, that hit the back of her throat. You know that All right,
Just like another
Yeah.
thing's hit the back
Then
of
she
her
was-
head.
Yes, I thought as I was saying that, I tried to stop it, and I didn't stop it soon enough.
No, you did it. No, you did it. He said throat.
Like she's been branded.
She's been
suppose.
branded.
He's like, all right, well, and FBI agents that are listening in, shut up, don't show up, whatever, the typical bad guy, tropey, nonsense. I'm so smart, I know the FBI is listening, right?
Because I've talked to the FBI quite a few times in my
Sure.
life because I'm a criminal.
They wire Ben up and they send him out there with all these tourists on the deck of this ship, and they fire some radio jammers at him, and basically some tourist-looking guy whispers instructions to him, and he ends up going to the back of the stern. And he says through the wire to Harvey Keitel, I found door number 3 and I'm taking it, and dives into the water where a diver is waiting underwater for him
Into the Hudson.
in the Hudson River.
You know
With
how many-
the turds.
You know how many diapers are in there?
Oh, bro. That's what she even says at one point. She's like, is there any visibility? She's like, it's the
Sir,
Hudson.
it's the Hudson.
That's right.
Nothing's visible.
Oh, but like one of those torpedo things. I always thought those things were cool that you hang
Yeah.
onto and it just shoots you across the whole river.
Like
Yeah,
they
little-
came up
little
with
motor.
that plan
Yeah.
just like lickety split. There it is.
That's why they got Sean Bean involved, because he's like, this is not
Right.
the first time I've had to break somebody out
Like,
of the FBI.
could you imagine you jump in
Yeah.
to the Hudson?
Yeah.
You get in the water and you're like, when the guy hands you the thing to breathe, and you're like,
No,
I don't want to open my
I'd
mouth, dude.
rather
I'm sorry, I'm
die.
not doing it. Nope.
Have they cleaned that?
That thing's been in the poopies, and you want me to put it in my mouth.
Every time they clean the river, Bob, it's still sitting next to New York City.
Yep. It's being cleaned
know.
at the same rate that poop is being dumped into it.
Right. Exactly. So, sorry to all of our listeners in New York that are offended by the Hudson, but you probably know better than we do how crap-filled the Hudson River is.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Right? They crashed a plane onto it, and some of those people were like, I'm not getting out.
That's why the plane. Why the plane was floating still.
All the methane gas.
There's so much debris. Yeah.
That's what it was.
So much poop.
Sully got all this credit, but really it was just,
It was just the
all of
poop.
the turds keeping the plane. It
All the floaters.
was like landing on the ground. That's why he was able to do it.
It was so soft.
That's what it was. All right, where the hell are we? All right, so he gets away. Abby and Riley, Abby calls Ben as they're driving and says that they are the ones calling the shots now. And Sean Bean, they've got him waiting for him at this intersection. And don't worry, we're hiding right across the street from him with a giant sign that says internet access. And they're staring out the window right where Sean Bean is standing.
Yeah, this will be fine.
Real conspicuous, you guys.
Dog,
see you.
you okay?
All right.
You okay? Okay.
You stay out there.
That's right. Ben shows up, gives him the clue. All right, here's the clue. On the back of the declaration was here, or where was it? Here in Wall or something like
Here
that.
Yeah,
at the
here in
wall.
Wall.
Here at the Wall.
With
which
2 E's.
was Wall Street and
Yeah,
Broadway,
they're like, duh.
right?
Oh, sure.
Because Broadway
Got
used
it.
to be called Wall, or no, Here with 2 E's or whatever.
Yeah.
That's why they're here. And he's like,
Like, yeah, it was easy.
what's the rest of the clue, Nick? You can't bluff worth a damn. And every once in a while, you got to be holding all the cards. And they pull his Daddy Voight, out of the back of one of the cards.
But he also just says, like, no, that was it. In the same tone that he said every word in the
Right.
movie. So it's like, oh, well, was he bluffing this whole time?
I don't know.
Is that his bluff voice?
I believed it, because Nick Cage it's intoxicating to listen to him talk. I was enthralled with everything that he had to say.
It was.
I was like, what do you mean?
so
you can't-
intoxicating, I almost passed out.
Oh, see? Long story short, everybody knows that everybody else is there. And so Nick Cage divulges that the final thing is that they got to go inside Trinity Church, which is right there. And so the whole cast that's left goes into Trinity Church.
And they all sit in different pews.
Abby and Riley's there. Sean Bean's whole crew is there. Now John Voight is dragging along. And we've got all the players.
And no one else is there.
Nobody.
In New York City.
Not a priest.
If this church is open, and like no one's in there.
Nope.
I just need a place to sit down.
Hey, Father, get out of here.
Get out.
Just give me a 2-second scene of them kicking a priest out.
Yep.
Right?
And your altar boy.
And the altar boy. Wow, get all of them out of here. Everybody get out of here right now.
Everybody get out.
But all the players have been moved into the final piece of the board, essentially. Right?
Right,
We've gone from the Arctic Circle to Washington, D.C. to Philadelphia. Now we're in New York, ping-ponging all around the northeastern part of the states and Antarctica. Or not Antarctica, the south.
That's so much
North-
like traveling.
North Pole.
How long has it been?
Yeah, I don't know.
How many days has gone by?
And they're about to go to Boston. Well, some of them in a second. But
Well, most of this happens in the same day. That's the
Right.
crazy part.
yeah, there's only one overnight, I think. because they steal it at night.
They steal it at night. It gets going. There may be a second night while he's in jail and they're setting stuff up, but there's no allusion to it.
Inside Trinity Church, they take out the Declaration of Independence, and let's have a look at you kind of mentioned the way they've manhandled the Declaration of Independence throughout this entire movie.
It's 4 pieces.
It's like literally.
I can't get it folded back up into the same.
It's just pulling it out. At one point, John Voight's doing this with the thing, and they're rubbing stuff on it, and they've chased around. They hit people in the face with it.
There's so much lemon juice on it at this point. Like, wouldn't that kind of like start to disintegrate it?
Smells like
very
Nick Cage's
acidic.
breath.
Yeah.
Right.
It's alluring.
Oh,
That's what preserves it.
that's what it is. It's like a natural pheromone that attracts beavers.
That's my perfume's name.
That's why she's saying. Right. All right.
What are you wearing? I call it Nicolas Cage.
But now he knows. Now he knows there's more to the glasses because he saw Harvey Keitel flipping them on the desk.
table, yeah.
So he
Because you couldn't have figured that out. Like,
right. You had
aren't
3
smart?
different colors before.
Well, yeah,
Aren't
why are
you
there 3
smart?
colors on each side? There's a reason.
And so the rest of it, outside of here and Wall, is under Parkington Lane. And they're like, oh, damn it. And here's where
why
Dad's
would
like,
it-
it told you it's just another clue.
Shut up, Dad. Why would the map lead us here and then lead us somewhere else? It doesn't make any sense.
That's what it's been doing the entire time.
Literally.
Yes.
Literally the entire time.
So
it's like a clue, and then I go here, and then it's another clue, and then I go here.
And so the movie starts with Sean Bean being pissed that the treasure isn't where they are, and now it's happened again, right?
And
they
he's
think
like, but this is fine this time.
it's probably
I'm
here.
tired.
It could be somewhere underneath the church, right? Doesn't mean it's somewhere
Let's go
else.
digging.
So one of the church, they find this person's grave. It's literally named Parkington Lane, and they're reading
Lane
Parkington, whatever, and they're reading the inscription on the front. And he's halfway through, and somebody bashes it in with a hammer. Like, what if that was the next clue? And they just right into this thing. Pull old ass Parkington out of the freaking
Falls out of the back of the casket.
Right. Coffin flop. That's why I immediately thought of Tim Robinson. You just got bodies falling out of coffins, man. I don't know. They find a creepy tunnel underneath, or not under, but behind where his coffin was.
Who's going first?
Who's going down the creepy tunnel?
Not me.
No one's been down there.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
I'm a little too fat. I don't think I'm going to make
claustrophobic
it through.
for that. I'd be like, well, boys, I'll watch up here and make sure nobody follows you.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I'm going to get stuck in the torpedo tube, so to speak.
No. They get through. He lights the torch. We get that iconic Nick Cage with the torch image that is National Treasure and all of the artwork and everything. And then he just randomly kisses.
I like how you
Abby.
act the picture and you make the the stationery has sound with Nick
Yes.
Cage.
You can hear that
you
picture.
can hear it. Yeah, and I mean, you're
with the random
Well,
kiss?
it's like you're lucky that she liked it because you just made her do that.
Full send.
You full sent just grabbed her and like forced her to kiss you, and you were so lucky she smiled after.
Right.
Otherwise, it would have been real bad situation.
We're calling HR.
Yeah, he went right past the shoulder lick, right for the kiss.
That's right. Didn't even try anything else.
Didn't even try anything
Didn't
else.
touch pinkies
Didn't take
together.
her out to
No,
dinner.
you're right.
Nothing.
Right?
Nothing.
Sometimes you just gotta take.
Wait,
a
what's
leap
the
of faith.
shoulder length?
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's Kill and Kill Again.
Kill and kill again.
There was a guy who they had never even hinted there was a romance, but he got kind of hot and bothered when he saw her karate fight. And so she's like washing her hair in the river, bare shoulders, okay? And he walks over and they start kind of talking, and then he's kind of like hovering right here. And first move, not like let's touch our pinkies together and test the water. His pinky in the water was add up on her,
Oh,
shoulder.
my.
And she was down. Like I said, I made the comment like, now that's a bold first move, but if she is good with it, then you're green light all the
That
way.
were-
Yeah, you got a lot of freedom from this.
That
Yeah.
actually like that kind of reminds me of one of these books I read where one of the characters
Yeah.
licks her tears off her face. Like she's crying in like
Yeah.
misery,
Yeah.
and he goes over and actually licks the tears off her face
And
in
green
like
light.
a sexual manner, and she's like, "What the?"
Okay, so it wasn't a red light.
No, she
then.
was not.
Okay.
Well, they're together now, but it was not.
It's like, what, has he got
Sounds
salt
like a green
deficiency
light
or
to me.
what?
Well, yeah. At the time, she questioned it, but she stopped questioning it
Well, that's
pretty
just it.
soon after.
Even with this move with Abigail, right? I'm like, the timing is what's weird to me. Like
Yeah.
when you've reunited in the pews, kiss her, like, oh, I'm so happy that you're still alive and everyone's okay, fine. or after what happens later.
Hey, we could
he
really
gets-
die here.
And there's
now.
more, and there's still another person behind them too.
Yes.
He's just like,
Oh, it never
Being in
happens to me.
2024, I'm tripping a bitch. Give me your leg tripping you. I'm more safe
You know,
tripping
that's-
you than I am kissing you.
Yes.
Because
Tom's all about safety in
know
that
what?
moment.
I'm safety.
He's like,
I'm having waivers before I kiss a bitch
I've
now.
had experience beating women up over the years, and
That's
it's
right.
never been a problem.
That's
So I'm
right.
just
Never been a
gonna
problem.
keep- I'm
They
just gonna
won
keep doing
flipping
that.
toe on a woman's head. Lawsuits.
You better be real sure.
Nicolas Cage was real sure.
They get to the ricketiest looking staircase of all time. Okay. Down
there's
into
like-
the darkness.
They're like all 8 of us.
Yeah.
Will make this work.
It's
Like, this will
300
be-
years old.
Well,
Right.
the
Have
Masons.
you ever played with 300-year-old rope? I haven't. But I've played with some 45, 50-year-old rope, and that stuff don't hold up to crap.
Right. And like, let's light this chandelier on fire that's been sitting down here for 300 years.
That'll work.
Right?
It's fine.
It's
fine.
fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I actually was so happy
I'm
when it all
fine.
started to fall apart because I'm
I
like,
wish-
thank God.
And then
I wish you would have just saw. I wish you could have saw a picture of Todd. He's just walking through the background, maintaining all this crap.
right.
You know,
He's
just a
150 years old. Just kill me now.
Just kill me.
I'm the
He's
third
got that
generation.
fountain
But,
of
like-
youth down there, and he just.
As soon as Shaw just goes wee,
He trips and falls and crashes through. Yeah.
me, like if I was Nicolas Cage, I would just walk up to Ian and be like,
Yeah, just shove him.
shove him, and all good. But
Yep.
the thing is, they'd continue on anyway because like maybe the treasure's down here.
Right, exactly.
But at least they wouldn't have to deal with Ian.
Also, they get to the bottom. Shaw's body's not there. Yeah. Where'd he go?
Did they go all the way? I don't think they went all the way
They
down.
did
There
to
was
the bottom.
farther down.
No.
Oh yeah.
I think they were on the bottom.
No. I think that hole went indefinitely.
No,
It goes to that other hole in Russia.
You're
The
right.
Russians were trying to get to the treasure.
He's right though. They didn't go all the way down because they had to
Yeah.
like anchor
Yeah.
Yeah, they
like the side,
tied
Get back
off.
to
and
the
then they
side.
pulled the rope. And
We
then
have
they,
no idea how
Just
deep
my
that
ass,
goes.
I guess. I don't know.
There could be 4
James,
more
you
treasure
suck.
rooms down there.
Jeez.
They tied off. They, like they were docking the
yeah, like they
pontoon
were
there.
docking a boat.
As they all start, the stairs all start to fall apart and people are falling and grabbing for whatever. A lot of them jump on the dumbwaiter elevator system, but Nick Cage is holding on to Abby's arm as they realize the Declaration of Independence is precariously about to fall off.
you trust
And I'm like, that thing is still there? Like, why do they still have
And
this
he
thing
legit
with them?
questioned it for a second. He's like, I've only kissed you once.
He didn't just question it. He goes,
but-"
"Do you trust me?" And then yeets her. I don't think he knew that panel
But you know what?
was there.
To be fair to him, she's like, yes.
He's like, "What?"
I would have been like,
as-
absolutely not.
as she's-
Do not let me go. What?
No, screw the
no,
independence.
no, I don't,
Screw
I
the
don't.
Declaration of Independence. He yeets her and
The Declaration.
he gets down after he's like, "Oh, you survived. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you're not dead."
He's literally, he's like, oh, cool.
I
Hey,
guarantee you, Ben Gates kills her over the Declaration of Independence, right?
How do you figure?
I'm just saying, if it came down to her or to saving her, if that board that she got rescued by wasn't there, he drops her anyway to save the
Well, it's
Declaration.
safer
pretty
than
sure-
kissing her.
What's that?
It's safer than kissing her.
That's true.
Maybe not in the first movie, but in the second movie, he probably would have sacrificed
100%.
her.
I haven't seen the second one yet, but
Good stuff.
we'll see.
We will next week.
They all finally get down to the bottom and they descend. And dad has mentioned this thing a couple times, like, the status quo has to change,
Right.
Because otherwise we get down here and he gets what he wants. He's just going to kill us, right? And so he says to him again, "Status quo," to Ben as they're going down to the bottom.
And I like how Ian doesn't question it at all.
Yeah,
Or tell him to like shut up.
Quit with your stupid codes,
Yeah,
code
right.
breaker.
it's a dead end. They get down to the bottom and it's a dead end. And Sean Bean is pissed again. "I'm leaving you down here to die unless you tell me what the final clue is." And he's like, "There is no final clue. This is it, you idiot. Like, we're out of clues." And then Dad it's the lantern. "Shut up, Dad." Right? It's Paul Revere's
Don't.
lantern. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. It's the church in Boston where Paul Revere said to hang the lantern. And he basically gives him a fake clue. I loved this so much.
I did too, because Ian, I thought the whole movie, him and his crew were dumbasses.
Yeah.
They didn't know anything. And this just proved it when he said, "It's a single lantern.
Right.
Go to Boston. It's there."
Honestly, Nick
Go
Cage
to
could have
Boston. It's there.
Nick Cage could have fake clued him at any point
He could have.
on this whole
But
journey.
no,
and they
you
would have bought
got
it.
all the way down to the bottom of this like canyon.
Yeah, for Dad.
Why now?
Yeah,
Because the treasure's on a button away.
right.
Yeah, they already solved it.
It's a pipe away.
Right. He leaves him down there to die, not knowing that, he's
Well, what if there's another clue?
Right.
You need us. What if there's another clue? Well, I'll know where to find you.
right, like, yeah, because you've got water and stuff down here. You'll
Yeah.
be fine when I get back from Boston.
Yeah, let me just go travel to Boston, a state away.
Come back.
We'll come back. You guys will be fine. Don't worry about
It's
it.
like going to
Is it-
Kenosha.
200-year-old Roomba coming
yeah.
through cleans the place.
I got my ass kicked going into Kenosha once. He goes, well, don't worry. There is another way out through the treasure room. And he hits the button and the thing opens and they're like, it just looks like a ransacked storage room.
Yeah.
And this is where the first time Ben Gates, Nick Cage's character, starts to lose heart, right? And be like, this whole time I've been chasing this whole thing. It's a bunch of bull crap, right? And it's Dad who has to be like, no, you followed all the clues and maybe it's not, the treasure's not real, but look what you've done. You've got all the way here because you followed all of the clues and I'm proud of you, son. And I thought this is going to be the moment, right? Where, guys, it turns out the real treasure is a father's approval all along, right? Like I thought that was going to be like
And
the
then they
message
leave.
of the movie. It's like,
The end.
that's
Few
great,
credits.
Dad, but I can't buy a yacht with that, So like,
How am I supposed to get
What am
all
I-
these hookers on one boat?
What am I supposed to do with this hairline without billions of dollars?
right. Is there an Air Force One version, but it's a boat? Like I don't. Air Force Two, is that the boat? I don't know how it works.
It'd be something
Waterboat
Navy.
The president, Naval One or whatever.
Naval
Yeah.
one.
We're gonna steal Naval One. That's the next. Let's get it, dude.
Me and Harrison Ford.
Get off my boat.
That's right.
Chewie.
They decide at this point all they're going to do is just try to get out of there. They have to them given up the search. And Riley says they would have cut another cavern up for air and in case of a cave in at this point, right? So there's got to be some other
Right.
'Cause I know
shaft
architecture.
or something to get out of here. And as they're looking for this, they uncover a recess that exactly fits the pipe from the Charlotte, right?
Right.
Which, like, what if that pipe is really delicate?
Right.
What if, like, a little piece was just, like, broken off? Oh,
Chewing gum or something.
No.
I don't know what they would do.
no one's going
Just
to get the
3D
treasure
print one.
now.
3D
They're going to have to wait another 15 years in 3D print.
They're hosed. They're hosed. They put it in. He goes, "Could it be that simple?"
Yeah,
Puts
Charlotte
it,
has the key.
yeah.
The key lies in Charlotte.
Boom. Opens it up.
Bam. Full
Treasure
circle.
room. Yo, I was so excited because I feel like I don't know whether it's Uncharted or any of these other treasure games or movies or whatever. They never get the treasure, right? Like it never ends with them like just finding it and hauling it all off, and now they're rich and they have all this treasure. And so I just assume that's why I bought the father's approval thing, hook, line, and sinker. Right? I'm like, of course the real treasure wasn't real treasure. It's family and friends and all this stuff. But the fact they actually found a room full of treasure, I was so happy.
It's like, yes.
Right? I was like, yes,
This is satisfying.
very satisfying.
And then he just lights I guess there's gunpowder.
That
and,
was
like,
the
he's
only
all-
thing I was like, dude,
How many people are left here?
you better be real sure before you light anything in this room on fire. Yeah.
Right.
It's just the
and, like, I'm sure the ventilation in that room is great.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
just let things aflame and we'll just breathe in the smoke
Right.
and probably die. We've gotten this far.
It's just the four of them at this point.
It's four people
Yeah.
left. So we got to kill 3 people now. Right? This is the culmination. I'm sorry, guys. If we get to a room like this, all 4 of you, gone. Done. This is my treasure now.
The treasure, it's like billions of dollars.
Right.
why I
We
don't go
can't
treasure
share.
hunting.
We can't
with
share.
Clint.
We can't share
I mean,
because Ryan is going to go and give it to the freaking FBI. We're going to get 1%. I can't risk it being you.
For sure, Mueller's turning us into the FBI.
Right. I can't risk it.
Gonna try to murder us. You could trust. I would definitely not steal the treasure from you.
But I know because I wouldn't be going.
And I'm just enchanted by Nicolas Cage's breath.
Right. And all
so
you
I'm
got to
just
do
along for the
is
ride.
breathe into Stephanie's mouth, and she's good to go.
And I will
I'm
do,
not
I'll
breathing
do
into
anything you
anybody's
want.
mouth. That's 15 to 20 years.
You're a billionaire.
It's okay. I smile after.
That didn't work out for Harvey Weinstein, now did it?
Exactly. That's why he tested the waters before they got down the stairwell.
He's like, okay, she let me kiss her.
We're good.
I could touch
I don't
her.
have to kill her. Right?
I don't.
That's what it is.
all right, you're cool. I don't have to kill you.
They light this ancient room on fire. I still don't. I was like, Nick, okay, all right, it's
And then
fine.
it just
I
keeps
thought it was
going
cool.
and
though.
going.
no, it was
That-
cool.
that was a really cool, like,
It
hey,
was
this is how we're going to light the room with gun.
Yes.
Well, and I like I love the score of this movie.
Yes.
So this point was just a really culmination moment
Yes.
of yes, everything he's worked for,
'Cause the
and
treasure-
the fire and the treasure and the music, and it was great.
The treasure room was impressive, but then you realize it's ginormous.
And it just goes
It
on
keeps going.
and on.
yeah.
They don't own this.
Right.
Any of this stuff.
No.
There's
No
like
one
treasure
does, really.
hunters laws.
Yeah.
No, somebody owns the land above this. They own the rights to the stuff that's in their building that they didn't know about.
far
So
down are
it's
they?
a church.
Clint, this is
Or
5
the next
stories
door.
They're below
down.
the subway.
Right.
Yeah, it's owned by Earth.
How far down do your property rights go?
So what you should
I don't
do,
know.
you
It's
just
in
go.
their building. They built this basement in this church. It's part of the church.
What you do is you go back up.
Jesus
You
owning money.
offer the church.
Buy the church.
You're like, I will give you $1 million for this church.
Yeah.
And they'll sell it to you, and then it's all yours.
donation to
and
the
you know
Catholic
you
Church.
have the $1 million
That's what
because
we
you have
do.
the
Then we
church.
don't need the FBI. We don't have to kill Ryan.
well, Ryan
I
still
own it
going to turn
all.
us in, so Ryan has to die for sure.
Ryan, I'm
I
not
gotta
there.
die.
Yeah.
All right, I'll die.
What about Madeline Farrell?
They're not
Even on the episode.
No way they'd be in on this.
No, they're going to be late.
Well, you get
least
me in
my
the room
Ryan
with
will
them
be
two.
Hold on. We need Madeline to hack the polar ice cap.
So Madeline's Riley.
Okay, so basically what
Battle
we're
is
saying
Riley.
is Farrell, my husband, is left behind because he's late.
That's right. That's right.
I'm sticking with your husband. I ain't going anywhere near this.
He'd be like, Bob would have only made it to the grave site, and then he wouldn't be diving through the tunnel, and neither would you. So really, you wouldn't,
wouldn't
have
have
the
made
treasure
it.
either.
Right.
Well, here's the thing, though. I wouldn't be the one that died anyway. It's already been determined that I'd win a Royal Rumble
Yes.
because I fight dirty.
Yeah.
So nobody's got a chance.
I do like when they go up the stairs to the exit on the other side of the treasure room. It's just 2 graves over from Parkington Lane.
Right.
And I'm like, bro, if they just would have gone in that one, they could have gone right down into the treasure room, and it would have been fine. Right.
Right.
Come on. Let's check if there's tunnels behind any of these other graves while we're here. Oh, look, there's one
Oh,
right
look, there
here.
is.
Right.
I see some sparkle in there.
Right.
That might be the treasure.
You go down this one. We'll go down this one.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Ian,
Just
you
completely
and your
avoid the
gang go that
rickety.
way.
I'm always fascinated in these movies when the exit is really right, like in Raiders of the Lost Ark when they come out of the Well of Souls and it's like right there where everybody
Also,
Right.
just like
to the airfield.
the airfield, right?
logistically,
No one saw me come out of this hole.
logistically, how did they go
They
down
check to see why that
Yeah.
hole was
and
there.
in and up? And then they would have had to do like a full
Yeah.
circle
Yeah.
round.
Yep.
Oh, there's the treasure and
Yep.
there's the tunnel out.
And
Oh,
somehow
we're
they
back where we
completely
started.
missed the subway.
Yes.
Subway. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. That was hilarious. All right, they get back upstairs. Harvey Keitel's waiting for him. We'll put a bow on this thing. He hands him the Declaration of Independence, and Harvey's like, just like that? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you don't want anything? He's like, well, my bargaining. He's like, no bargaining chip. He's like, my bargaining chip's 5 stories beneath your feet, right? It's $100 billion worth of whatever, but split it up between the world.
It's too much for just
too
one
much.
man.
It should be enjoyed. It should hang in the Louvre.
Yeah, give it to the Louvre.
That's right. He goes, here's what I want. I want Abigail cleared. I don't even want a Post-it note on her record. I want the entire, like he does he say anything about Riley or is he like, forget Riley? But
It says Riley's assisted the
Yeah.
Riley assisted the treasure.
Like we
That's
want him to have credit for
Right.
finding the treasure, so
right.
Yeah.
we could also take him to jail.
that's right.
I want his name on it.
He goes, I want the entire Gates family to have credit, for the find for, all of his ancestors and everything. And he goes, what about you? He goes, I'd really, really, really not like to go or like to not go to prison. Somebody's got to go to prison, man. This is such a great callback when he's like, well, if you have a helicopter, I can help you with that,
Yeah.
right? And the dudes are literally in the middle of breaking into this church in Boston when the police roll up to arrest Sean Bean and
Like,
his whole crew, right?
We were thwarted.
And Nick Cage apparently got there real quick, too, because he
Yeah, and
comes
he's
out
just
of the
across
shadows.
the street in a build.
Well, there was another tunnel that went to Boston.
He arrived with Harvey Keitel on the helicopter.
No, I know, but I was just thinking it's funny. He's like, could I just stand here with everybody else? He's like, no, I want to go across the street and emerge from the shadows.
Yeah, exactly.
Emerge from the shadows like a solo like Elvis Presley.
Like a stealthy
And
ninja
also, I'm
warrior.
sure the FBI would have been like, no,
Not until we're sure.
you cannot leave our custody.
Not
Stay in the
realizing that
helicopter, please.
Harvey Keitel is part of the Knights Templar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's got the
He's a
ring.
Mason.
Mason.
And then we find out now it's them strolling through a park. We don't know where they are yet. It's Riley and Abigail and Riley talking. And Riley drops that he turned down his finder's fee of 10%.
Yep.
10%, which would have been $1 billion. Okay, billion. It was $10 billion fine. $1 billion. He turned it down. I was like, you fecking moron.
You dumb bastard.
You fecking.
Well, what's 1% of a $10 billion?
1%
Yeah.
of 10 billion
10 billion.
Really?
is $1 billion. That's what I'm saying. They turned down $1 billion.
No, 100 million.
Oh, but then we found Riley jumps into like a Ferrari. Or
Yeah, he got $100 million.
He got 100 million.
Yeah.
That's still a lot of money.
He got half of that, so it's 50 million. Is because Riley got half of a percent because they split the percent between them, right? So that's what
Like, sit
Like,
on
we're going to do this for
lousy
1% each.
Each.
right? And then it turns out he's got this estate, like this huge estate, which is the same one that the guy owned, the Carol or whatever, the last signer of the Declaration. And they're walking back, and Abigail hands him a piece of paper.
Sweet Jesus.
And he's like, "What's this?" She's like, "Oh, I just,
It's a vag map.
It's a map." Okay, I'm so happy you said that because I'm a map. She turns around and gives him this look like, "It's a map. You can see where it goes," and like runs back towards the house, and he runs after her, and I'm like, "It's a map to her pants." Did anybody else think that?
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly
You and I are
what
on the
you were supposed to think.
You and I on the phone the other day. I said,
Yes.
the map to the vag.
Okay, because my wife, bless her heart, was like, "That's not what it is. She just knows that he likes hunting for treasure." I was like, "He's hunting for treasure."
hunting for
He's hunting for treasure.
He
He's gonna,
absolutely is hunting for treasure.
he's gonna
He's
open
going to get
those.
some treasure and show up at Dad's house.
Absolutely.
She better not be pregnant.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's
She's
gonna
about to be.
that's the end of the movie, guys.
Thank God.
Well, it's time to see if we could make National Treasure any better than it already is. Can we?
I don't think so.
It's
but
possible.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's not a 10, so we can do it.
Perhaps. Yes. We could cast somebody, Arnold Schwarzenegger, into National Treasure. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Make him Shaw.
Tell me that would make him Shaw.
He falls
When
and
he
dies.
falls, yeah.
He is the treasure.
He is the treasure.
Statue, and he just busts out of his statue.
He's like the blue
Yes.
man with the beard.
Oh my gosh, a priceless artifact. It's like his statue from when he won Mr. Olympia in 1976. Yep. Right?
Yep.
Like, hold on, this isn't treasure. This is a storage room from Arnold Schwarzenegger. What you doing in my basement? Get out of here.
Get out of here now.
I'm the owner of the church.
But I've got it.
Stop breathing on my statue.
I think you got to make him Ben Gates. I know it's a Nick Cage vehicle, right? But Arnie as Ben Gates.
He would just punch the Declaration of Independence out of
Show me where to go.
right after the montage is over. Riley does his whole thing. He just hold on.
He says, "Listen to me, Abby. The Declaration of Independence is about to be taken. I'll be back with it in my hands." Ah!
And him,
When Riley gets all scared of the
Yeah.
dead body.
Yes.
And like,
You handled that well.
just all disapprovingly at him.
okay, do the steal the Declaration of Independence line.
Listen, just because somebody has the ability to act means they have the responsibility I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. Ah,
I don't
Not
think
before
it's
I
better.
do it first.
who are you?
Who are you?
I'm the Ghost Rider.
I flew in on Con Air. My name's Cameron Poe.
You thought this whole thing was about history, but it's about to be a heist story. Ah!
Oh,
There
my
you go.
You like the Elton John song Rocket Man?
Fixed it. That would be an Arnold.
I don't listen to soft ass shit. Okay.
You're the Rocket Man.
Rest in peace, Rocket Man, by the way. The guy
Yeah,
that
passed away yesterday. Tony Todd.
Yeah, man, that's sad.
69 years old. That guy was awesome.
Yeah, good dude. This paper is about to be revolutionized. No, it's not as good.
That's good.
All right. Just trying to think of puns about the time.
It's very hard to do puns on a
about
national
the Declaration of the only declaration you'll be signing is your resignation.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay. Okay,
We'll
fine,
take
whatever.
it.
Let's see what the Patriots had to say. Jamie Rhodes says, put Arnold as Riley Poole. I can hear him say, listen, if you even think about getting in there surrounded by gods and the video monitors and the little families and the little children from Iowa and the little kids on the 8th grade field trip, it's impossible. I just spit all over my microphone. Sorry. Andrew Sparks. Andrew Sparks, by the way, this is a Andrew Sparks Dudikoff special. This is how we ended up with this movie. I forgot to lead off the episode with that, but we have Andrew Sparks to thank for us doing National Treasure.
Well, you the man, dude.
That's right.
Because
Thanks.
this is a treasure.
Thanks for sparking this conversation.
Oh, listen, Andrew, you were the spark that lit the fire.
Oh.
He says, how could Sean Bean's Ian be even more impressive as a villain? That's right, by having the world's second most famous Austrian play his top henchman. Don't unravel that sentence. Intimidating the presence aside, picture Arnie running away from the Charlotte screaming, move! Get out of here! Let's get the blood! Everybody get down! And making Arnold noise as he falls into the abyss of the winding staircase. Oh, come on. Be good
See, I
stuff.
told you. Shaw.
Yeah. Did you figure out why he's the second most famous Austrian yet?
No.
Adolf Hitler. All right.
Woof.
Is he more famous?
I think he's probably the most famous
I think
Austrian.
I think about Arnold Schwarzenegger a lot more often.
Yes, but I don't think he's more famous.
I think he's the more infamous
Yes, maybe.
one.
Okay.
Maybe.
Darkest White playing along with us today. And he goes, the gift store clerk that made Nick Cage pay $35. So technically, Nick Cage didn't steal the Declaration. He paid for it. You trying to steal that? Get over here. Imagine if he was just in his little bow tie
I would have
gift
just taken
shop
it out of my
suit.
jacket and be like, nope. Throwing it right back to him.
Nope. Ryan Doherty says, how can Arnold make it better? The easy choice would be to make him Ian. We never called him Ian the entire movie. We called him Sean Bean. Ian is Sean Bean's character. However, the better choice is to make him the computer nerd Riley. His size makes him intimidating, but decided to take a turn and dedicate his life to IT. He stopped treating me like I'm a nerd. Okay? You guys are so mean to me all the time. And they were just giving him crap all the time. He's humongous. It'd be hilarious.
He goes in and he freaks his over a dead
right.
body. You handled that well.
You handled that well. Zach Nicholson says, I can't think anything can be better at than the love interest of Nick Cage. Playing a doctor in charge of protecting the Declaration, hanging from a door during a chase scene with his patent, yelling. "Ah!" The one-liners of Cage and Schwarzenegger would absolutely destroy the box office too. Not to mention, I definitely feel there'd be more chemistry than Cage had with Diane Kruger. We're gonna put a gay romance at the center of National Treasure in 2004
In a
between
Disney movie.
No.
Arnold
20 years later
and Nick
on a
Cage.
Disney, yeah.
Sure, but
would
in
work.
2004,
Yeah, no.
I don't know. It might have been a little bit too early for that. Now I would pay money to see a movie where Nick Cage is boyfriends with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think it'd be the greatest thing ever. It'd be freaking hilarious.
I would not pay money for that.
Making a Netflix special.
There you go.
That's a Disney remake.
How about we give this movie some
Moana.
awards, you guys? You ready for that?
Yes.
We're going to start with the most prestigious award we give out. It's the Will Patton Award for Intensity.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure
They remember forever the night they played the Titans.
Yeah.
What are you doing with a gun in space?
I just hope that's not why we got flagged for copyright infringement. But if it is, I'm really sorry, whoever owns that. We were kicked off Spotify for 48 hours this last week. They said it was for copyright, never told us what it was. Found out like the 24 hours into it, wouldn't even tell us at first what the problem was at all. And the only thing I'm like, sometimes we play audio clips of Will Patton and Steven Seagal, but like, what
It
the
was
hell?
Steven Seagal.
Seagal whined.
It's gotta be Steven Seagal.
All right, we're gonna keep doing
Fat
our.
It was your daughter.
Is that what it was?
You guys didn't pay.
Oh, we should have
for the
paid the
song.
acapella group. You're right. My fault.
It wasn't your daughter, it was the other ones.
So the Will Patton Award we give out is for the person that had just the most intensity, which doesn't always mean loud and screaming, but that they were just giving it 110% the whole way across. And so we're going to kick things started. We're going to kick things started.
Yeah.
We're going to kick things off or get things started, but we can't do both at the same time. So,
Or can you?
Zach Nicholson is going to kick things off, and he goes, "Hey, I've been listening to you guys for about a year and a half now. So excited to be on the show. Couldn't ask for a better first movie. That being said, here we go. This has to go to Nick Cage. I can't think, sorry, Stephanie, I can't think of a single movie where he isn't the definition of intense, much like Will Patton himself.
No.
And this movie is no exception. No exception. When he gave his speech while staring at the Declaration and said, I'm going to steal it. I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. I got chills and said, you're goddamn right you are. Just absolutely intense. Zach, Stephanie, who do you think?
Okay, well, Zach Nicholson.
That is your real name.
That is if that is your real name.
Stephanie, you look very disgusted right now.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly disagree with that vote. But that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
We all have our own wrong opinions.
Wow.
But okay, you know.
Wow.
Wow.
What if Owen Wilson was in this movie?
I think for
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
I think for the award for intensity.
in the church.
Wow. Why didn't you tell me that was happening?
Why was that so good?
This is my clue and this is Ian's clue?
All right, sorry, Steph. Go ahead. Who's your intensity winner?
Honestly, I have to go with Riley.
Really?
Yeah.
You.
Well, Jesus.
Not literally, but
You know what? Listen. He may have been kind of a dip.
God.
You know, when he was kind of a little like worm, but like everything he did was very just like he had a lot of intensity
He was
in
like
his
the-
face.
Bob,
He's like a
remember,
little-
she just said everybody's entitled to their own wrong opinion.
I understand that, but man, that guy, the second he said I broke a shoelace, I wanted to strap a rocket to him and launch him into the atmosphere.
He was very believable, like as his character.
Okay.
You know, when he saw the dead body and freaking out when he was in the van, like stop talking and get in the van. Like he was just very. I thought he was really intense.
Okay.
And I thought his character gave it a nice, like lighthearted feel to a lot of scenes. So
Well, that's a vote for Nick Cage and a vote for Riley as we go to Ryan Doherty.
I feel like I'm probably going to stand alone here,
Well,
but that's
you never
okay.
know. You
That's
never
okay.
know. What's funny is Ryan Doherty goes Christopher Plummer, the grandpa in the beginning. One scene, and he was the most believable character in the movie and was 100% convinced the treasure was real from the start. So a little bit off the board there probably, but Ryan Doherty goes with Chris Plummer.
That's
Clint?
my vote.
I was thinking, honestly, Ian or Shaw were mine, but Ian, I think
Sean
Ian,
Bean.
Yeah, I think he was the most intense. Like intense, Nicolas Cage has his moments for sure, but not through the whole thing. You know, not all of it. I think everything he does is straight up like a little lighthearted right at the beginning. Like, yeah, we're buddies.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just
Is it still
looking
pointed at
you.
me?
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
It's like, hey, we're buddies. We're awesome. You know, stuff like that. I was like, I will effing kill you. Perfect.
The gun
I
came
totally
out-
understand.
The gun came out so fast.
Yeah, I totally understand this guy's
Immediately
personality.
murderous.
Fair enough. That's a good
I do
pick,
like
man.
that vote.
Yeah.
I would almost change mine.
Darkest White goes Nick Cage. Love him or hate him, he gives 100% in his movies. So the first person with 2 votes is Nick Cage, and Stephanie is not happy about that. Bob, who you got?
I want to see Christopher Plummer's prequel movie.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
right?
dude.
Well, he was searching for the clues.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say Christopher Plummer.
All right. Nice. I think that's awesome because I literally was like, I called it off the board when that guy pulled it, and then you literally voted for it again. So I guess I was the one that was wrong on that one. I love it.
Well,
man.
just the way he told the story in the first,
Yeah.
2 minutes of the movie, or just like, all right, this movie's,
He
this movie's
probably-
awesome.
It did like it set the tone for the
Yeah.
movie really
He
well.
was probably there for a day, and he absolutely set the tone for the whole flick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Andrew Sparks goes, I'm going to go with Andy Samberg. Bob Hauser. Dang it, I can't tell them apart. Although his role as Ben Gates is markedly less over the top as the others, Stanley Goodspeed, Cameron Poe, Cage delivered a performance that has not only made me believe he was all in, but also contributed to my decisions as a young adult. I was a history major and am a master Mason. So Andrew Sparks, making more and more sense why he picked this movie himself, is a Mason. So we've got Chris Plummer's got 2
Like
votes.
he builds buildings?
Yeah. Well, no, it's the part of the
The other one?
there's 2 different kinds. Maybe he's both. I don't know.
Could be both.
I'm about to give another person 2 votes, but Nick Cage will still be in the lead here with 3. But I'm absolutely going Sean Bean on this one. He's one of my favorite actors of all time.
What's he been in that sucks?
The dude is awesome. Almost dies in every movie he's been in. So I kept waiting for him to die. He didn't die in this movie. It was a miracle.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the movie in like a minute, and we hadn't gotten to the end yet. And I was like, wait, does Sean Bean die in this?
Probably.
And
I mean, math is on your side.
yeah, and I was like, he does, right? I think he does.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's like a running meme. I think he's been killed more than anybody in
Yeah,
movies
he
ever.
always dies.
He always dies. But I loved, and even in, kind of a thankless role here, being generic villain number 4, I thought he brought as much to that role as he could. So I'm going Sean, giving him a second vote. As we head over there to the kids' table, who you got?
Do we have any more patrons left?
We have one more patron left, so it won't be the deciding vote yet.
Okay.
Unless you go Nick Cage, then you've set it too far.
No. Because I'm on the Sean Bean.
No.
No. I'm on the Sean Bean train. I was thinking about this for a bit, even as I was watching this. And I'm like, Nick Cage does have his moments, right?
Yeah.
From beginning to end, Sean Bean's character was just probably the most intense one in the movie. And I get, Grandpa in the beginning, right? I love that kind of opening 2 minutes, but I think, beginning to end, bringing it is Sean Bean all the way.
All right. Well, it's 3-3 right now between Nick Cage and Sean Bean as we go to Jamie Rhodes. And he says, Nick Cage, he's always intense. But we still have we started with Zach Nicholson, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we
you're
did.
right. That means that's over, buddy. That's it for Nick Cage is on the last vote going to take home the Will Patton Award for intensity.
I tried, Steph. I tried to get it to throw back to the table.
You threw your vote away on Riley Gaines and Nick Cage won.
By being so wrong.
You voted for the Green Party.
Can I change my vote?
No, it's too late.
Ian, come back.
You voted for the Green Party.
I caused this.
It's a Joy Reid vote just cost us right there. Onward to the next award, which is the we just did Will Patton. It's the Trash Can Full of Dirt Award, named after Steven Seagal. It's the award we give out to the actor that had the worst performance in the movie. So let's get that one going.
Trash can, oh trash can, it's a trash can full of dirt. Yeah.
Love never dies.
No, it doesn't.
Neither do they.
Sometimes.
Love is eternal. And that's a long time.
That's right.
It's a long time.
Man, oh man. The longest of times.
Longest of times.
Yeah.
Infinite.
Jamie Rhodes says, Trash Can, Hunter Gomez as young Thomas. Wow. Wow.
You're like, Bob, you just hate them kids.
All right, Jamie, respect. Steph, who you got for the Trash Can in this movie?
Let me think.
Don't you dare.
Let me think. Nicolas Cage.
Oh, come on.
He's so blank. Like, okay, I don't mind Nicolas Cage in this movie. I don't think he does necessarily like a terrible job, but in comparison to everybody else that I could have picked, I think that he was just very, very flat. Almost as flat as a trash can full of dirt.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean everybody? There's a whole IMDb list of people to pick from.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a lot.
Everybody else in the
I'm
movie.
planting my flag.
I'm
All right,
trying
well-
to-
I
Plant your flag on that wrong opinion.
Nicolas Cage
Twice in a row.
can eat a bag of dicks.
Your awards have been real
Terrible.
questionable tonight. Zach Nicholson, the perfectly named Seagal Trash Can. I had a hard time deciding between cashier lady who just yells out, "Are you trying to steal that?" Then carry a normal conversation with
did her
someone
job.
definitely trying to steal something. But ultimately, I had to go with Diane Kruger. Oh, due to her being a major character, she's a great actress overall. But for me, she just fell flat. I felt no real emotion from her the entire time, so she gets my vote. Oh, Zach, hard disagree there. Hard.
We got wrong opinions all over the place tonight.
But
Yeah,
he
this
planted
is
his flag,
interesting.
and that's all I ask for from people is that they plant their flags. So, Clint, I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Riley sucks because Stephanie liked him.
That's okay. That's okay. I'll take the heat. I like it.
Oh my gosh. 4 people, 4 different votes. We're spraying all over the place here.
That's what she said.
Riley. Really?
Yeah.
All right. Ryan Doherty.
Hate vote.
I may get some crap for this trash can, but I've got to go with John Voight. The majority of his lines were not convincing and seemed like he just phoned it in. That's the 5th person after 5 votes.
Every single one. All 5 people have been wrong so far.
All right, Bob. Who was the trash can? The
I
worst
know. I
actor
already know
in
who you're gonna
this
say.
movie.
Diane Krieger.
What?
Really?
Diane Krieger.
Just kidding. I didn't know.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Really?
No, I'm just joking.
Okay. No, I mean, if it is, it is. It's fine. I just was shocked because I
No.
loved her in this movie.
No, she was nice to look at.
Yeah.
That's about it. I'm joking.
I admit it's a low bar.
Joking. Riley.
Riley.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Justin Bartha. He was great when he was left up on the roof in The Hangover.
Yeah,
you
and
didn't see him.
and he wasn't in any of the movie.
Is that the same guy?
Yeah.
They gave him too
that's
much
funny.
time in this movie.
But the sequel sucked.
Wow.
I'm joking, Justin Bartha. I loved your softcore porn on Netflix.
No, he's not. What?
Darkest White.
Asking
goes
for a friend.
Stuart
What's it
Finley,
called?
Stuart Finley McClellan, which was one of Sean Bean's henchmen. That guy catches a stray from Darkest White in the trash can vote here.
Is that the guy that was like, why does that ever happen to me?
Probably.
Yeah.
What you got,
Because you're
Mueller?
a trash can.
Man, we got Riley
It's got
at
2.
2.
Everybody else has 1.
Jeez, and I was going to go with a bit off the board because this
Yeah.
was a hard movie to pick a trash can.
I agree.
You know,
think
for me
anybody was that
personally,
terrible.
nobody was that terrible. I'm going with Champagne Guy that came up when Nick Cage was getting the fingerprint.
Stan.
whatever.
Her boss or whatever.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
like staring
I
at
mean,
her ass while she
that
was
guy-
typing
Yeah,
in
that
Valley
he
Forge.
was. Yeah, just a total trash can. Just
Ugh,
That's
Goblin
probably
Master.
the correct
That's a
answer.
great vote.
That's a good vote.
Ass staring boss.
Riley's going to end up. Well, I don't know. I don't know what Andrew said here, but I was going to go with the clerk that charged him the $35. I thought she was terrible.
She wasn't good either.
You know, are you going to pay for that? And then, like, yeah.
I thought she
I
did.
don't know.
I thought she did great with like her facial expressions.
No.
Like when he puts 32 and she's just like,
Yeah.
"We take
That's some
Visa."
high school level.
She was my other pick. Honestly, I was
bad.
between them, but Champagne Guy was awful.
I thought she was like just enough annoying.
She's psycho hiker level of acting.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I liked her.
Andrew
I'm like, she's great. What are you talking about?
She's wonderful.
Andrew Sparks went Oleg Taktarov. Taktarov? Dude had 1 line in the movie and still blew it. At least his performance in the worst Predator movie was believable. I'm assuming that's the why doesn't this happen to me guy.
Oh,
But that means that Riley, Justin Bartha, is that what you said his name was, is going to win.
Congratulations.
The trash can, unexpected. 2 totally unexpected victories here.
I feel like they should be different.
Wow.
There wasn't a
We'll mail
bad
it to
person in
you.
this movie.
The person,
Yeah, it
just
was a
annoyed
hard
me.
one.
yeah. The person that Stephanie said should get the Will Patton got the trash can, and the person she said should get the trash can got the Will Patton. So that was pretty.
But we all know
awesome.
my opinions don't matter, so it's okay.
We're learning that.
Yeah, slowly. It's been a while. I've known
For
you
sure.
a long time.
The next award we give out is the Steve James Unsung Hero Award for an actor that had a smaller role, not a lot of screen time, but made the movie better. Let's get it done here.
You know, every place you go, there's always someone who thinks he's a badass, right? Then there are those few who are. Are you some kind of a badass karate boy?
Well, I think this one, I mean, I don't know. This has been the most random awards section we've done in a long time. I feel like this should come down to 2 people, but we'll see. I have no idea what's going to happen here. We'll start with Andy Sparks. He says, look, I got to go with everyone's favorite Hanukkah song member / mafia cleaner, Harvey Keitel. Enough said there from Andrew. Steph, who you got?
I liked the clerk lady
Oh, shut
in
up.
like the mall or whatever.
Oh, in the meat market. I thought you were talking about...
not that. No, in the meat market when she's like, "You don't belong here," and she's like, "Oh, I'm just trying to hide from my ex-husband," and she's like, "Oh, stay as long as you like." I was like, "Yes."
Oof, you don't know how close you were just getting flip-flopped right there. That was...
Oh, were you gonna like
That was
punch me in
close.
the mouth?
No, flip flop. It's a thing.
Oh,
It's a verb.
Where you just
I didn't see where.
How'd I go from throwing a flip flop to you gonna punch me in my mouth?
Oh, Bob's sitting right here.
Okay,
Yeah, Bob.
that's what it is.
Bob's the muscle.
We don't have any
Bob,
flip flops in
Peter
our range,
woman.
do we?
Bob, punch her in the mouth.
I'm not punching anybody. Unless it's a donkey.
You said it's the safest route.
And Spotify is
You know,
taking us
actually,
down again next week.
I said donkey. I said donkey.
Jamie Rhodes says Harvey Keitel is his vote as well for the Unsung Hero Award. Clint,
Yes.
what
Yes.
does that mean?
It's Harvey Keitel.
Harvey
It
Keitel.
has to be. And yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right.
It's got somebody's got to go to prison.
somebody has to.
It's just that's all there's.
Somebody here is going to go to
Same.
prison.
I was literally
That'd be me.
I was waiting for that. Yeah, actually, it would probably be Bob. now that I
Probably
think
will
about
be.
it.
Free speech is dead.
We're all about to die.
Zach Nicholson says John Voight being shooketh seeing Nick Cage steal the Declaration was perfect. However, every time Harvey Keitel entered a scene, I was captivated. When he spoke, I wanted to listen more and more. And the ending, I needed to know his story. He gets my votes. Another vote for Harvey Keitel with a shout out to John Voight. Now, Bob, you had said before you're going John Voight. Are you still going John Voight?
No, I was gonna do a duo: Christopher Plummer and Harvey Keitel.
Okay. Oh, you said Christopher Plummer. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna do both of them
Nice.
because I can.
Deserve, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Because at this point, it seems like a foregone conclusion anyway, right?
Right.
For sure. Ryan Doherty says, for my Steve James, I'm going to go with John Voight. While the majority of his lines were flat, that's a great way to start off your. I thought this guy was
Inspires
great.
confidence.
This guy's great.
He
He
did
made
such
the-
a crap job, but he's so good that it
Made
was
it better.
still awesome.
Right, that's right. The lines where he was being sarcastic were delivered fantastically. If he wasn't for his flatness, he would have been a better comic relief than Riley was. Mueller over at the kids' table. What are you thinking for Steve James?
Boy, you're right. This comes down to a couple, and John Voight wasn't even on my map for those couple.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I needed more, hey, baby bird, and we got none of that from John Voight. So I got to go with Mr. White, the wolf himself, Harvey
All right.
Keitel.
We do things around here my way. Right?
That's right.
I got with John Voight. All right, so Harvey Keitel, and we have Darkest White here saying the good old snake hunter from Paraguay. John Voight, his mental breakdown when he realizes his son stole the Declaration is one of my favorite scenes in the movies. So that's a good vote there. But I am also going Harvey Keitel. I just loved his. I
Yeah,
wish
he was
he got a
great
bigger
in
part.
this one, yeah.
Was awesome, and so that's definitely more than enough votes to get him across the finish line. With a shout out to Plummer and to John Voight. But just think of those three guys. Got three powerhouse actors in small parts in this movie: John Voight, Harvey Keitel, Christopher Plummer.
Yeah.
Great cast in this movie. Guys, it's time we have an opportunity here to haul ourselves up BMR Mountain because we have an actor who's appeared in at least 3 films that we've covered here on this movie.
boy.
And so it's time for us to see, they all make the mountain, but in what order would we put the 3 movies that John Voight has been in, which is Varsity Blues, Anaconda, and now National Treasure. So
His performance in or the movies
his
are?
performance.
His performance.
Not what the best movie is, because I think that'd be a different order.
Yeah.
But what was peak John Voight so far on Bad Movies?
Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues,
Varsity
Anaconda,
Blues.
this.
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think both of those other performances besides National Treasure
Yeah.
were so insane
Yeah.
Yes.
that they have to be
Right.
above.
And now
this
he's just
one,
playing like a dad.
Like he's just a dad in this.
If you ask me on a Thursday, I might go Anaconda, Varsity Blues.
Right.
But this is definitely 3. But
Bud
no.
Kilmer.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like it's got to go Bud Kilmer, then
Yeah.
Paraguay,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
and then. And do you feel the same or do you feel different? Would you put Anaconda, his performance in that, above
Yeah, I would.
you? I felt that's probably what you would do. That's why I asked
Yeah,
specifically.
I would.
Yeah, because
Not
I know
a
you love
Varsity
that.
Blues
You're not
guy.
a Varsity Blues guy at all.
Nah.
And neither is Stephanie.
Me either.
But
I'll defend Steph. So.
Omaha.
And Thunderstruck is awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Great movie for or great song for a
But I
montage.
understand
Who
why
would ever
I can
think?
see why she didn't like it.
I actually love the song.
She loves the song.
Can we all just recognize that I love the song?
Can we all just love
and
each
I
other?
didn't like the movie.
Can we just stop bringing this up with Steph and her terrible takes on Varsity Blues?
We will never. I will never outlive it.
Please.
It's
You don't need to.
my nickname reflects it.
Yep,
And it's
that's
you
right.
know what I'm okay with it.
All right, fair enough. Then
I'm gonna go.
Let's get to the final rating. Let's land this plane. We have a job that's been set in for us by the movie critics, the professional ones,
Idiots.
to say objectively how do we feel about this movie as a piece of art, as a piece of cinema, and then subjectively, do we enjoy it or not? Right. And so, is it a good movie? Is it a bad movie that rules, or is it straight up a bad movie? We'll find out as we go through here. I have a feeling where it's going to go, but I'm always surprised every time I think I know. I'm always surprised. Riley for the Will Patton Award. We're going to start off with
Shake things up. a little.
Darkest White. Okay. And he says, final rating, good movie. It's no Con Air, but I think it's one of Cage's better movies, and it's the movie that got me interested in the lives of the founding fathers. And so that's a first vote, good movie, full stop. Steph, you have the floor. What are your final thoughts about National Treasure?
Well, I really like this movie, Nicolas Cage aside. I think I still like it. I think it's really good, and I've seen it so many times. I mean, to watch it for this, I think was probably maybe like 6th or 7th time seeing National Treasure. I've seen this movie a lot, and it's just really enjoyable. It's really fun. Yeah, there's some like plot devices that are just so, conveniently placed, but I think it's a good movie, full stop.
All right. All right. Awesome. Ryan Doherty, I love how you're like, I know Nick Cage is terrible. It's like, he's the whole movie. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play?
Listen. I like to bag on Nicolas Cage, but I like quite a few of his movies.
Yeah, all
but
right.
I just didn't think this one was one of his better ones.
Yeah.
But apparently
All right.
everybody else does.
Apparently, well, so far, one person. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's everybody. That's all that matters.
I compare him like in Face Off.
Yeah.
I think that was one of his really good ones. Face Off. Because he's just so unhinged in that. And then in
The
this,
Rock.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Frick.
And then in this one, he's just like, oh.
That's right.
That's all I
Good
got.
stuff. Ryan Doherty says, look, I love movies about American history, no matter how far-fetched they are. Nicholas Coppola is awesome. Good movie. I'm going to bed. That's Ryan Doherty's third good movie vote. So you said good movie, right? Yep. Okay. Clint, you have the floor, sir.
I think that while we dabble in the shadows of being critics here, I think critics are stupid most of the time. This is a good movie. This is a good movie that rules even. We're entertainers. We're
Yeah.
not critics. We like to dabble in critics.
That's right.
These critics are wrong. Unless they think we're doing great, in which
Yeah.
case then critics mean everything.
Yes.
But yeah.
I love the way you said that. We are entertainers. We're not critics.
I'm
And
not,
I think
we may
sometimes
dabble in the edge of criticism.
people come at us like we're critics.
Yeah,
but we're really
we're not
just
good
trying
enough to be critics.
They wouldn't have us.
Yeah, we're not educated enough. Well, not all of us are educated enough to be critics.
No, not in any way, shape, or form. All right, but you're saying good movie though.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, good movie for sure.
Zach Nicholson says, this movie knows exactly what it is. It's a fun adventure that doesn't try to do too much with what it is. I love Sean Bean and everything he's in. Hey, me too, man. But they never panned away from the story to give needless backgrounds on his character. This movie's about Nick Cage stealing the GD, Declaration of Independence, and I buy it. Simple, yet creatively told story with the lore of the Freemasons, the Knights Templar, and the Founding Fathers, and I enjoyed it. It's not perfect, and it has some stale performances. Looking at you, Diane Kruger. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. Good movie, full stop. Thank you guys for letting me be a part of your show, and keep up the good work, except you, Steph, and your terrible take on Varsity Blues. I'll never get over your dislike of the perfectly used Thunderstruck.
Come on,
and I
man.
didn't make that up. It's
like
right
it just
there.
follows me
Jeff was
everywhere.
like, can we stop talking about this, please?
Oh my God.
Makes you wish you had herpes instead, right?
Not really.
Nope.
Bob, if somebody walked up to you on the street and was like, hey, what do you think about National Treasure? What are you telling them, man? How do you feel about it?
It's a good movie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
Okay.
moving on.
All right. If you don't have anything else, you don't need to. It's okay. Jamie Rhodes says, this is a good movie straight up. Okay, sure, you can wait. I'm starting to get nervous that there's like a clean sweep happening. And last time we had a clean sweep, I think it got ruined at the last second. And I'm saving Andrew Sparks for the end. So I'm assuming he's going to be good. He picked the movie. We'll see.
This is a bad movie, full
We'll see.
stop.
Jamie Rhodes says, this is a good movie straight up. Okay, sure, you can watch a story and say all the things this movie gets wrong. But with all the secret societies and groups in government, isn't it cool to think that there could be secrets hidden in our history? I've been to many of the DC buildings. It'd be awesome to find a secret tunnel that leads to treasure. I mean, everyone loves a treasure hunt. Jamie Rhodes, well said. Good movie straight up.
Look, this thing is part Indiana Jones, part Goonies for the early aughts, right?
The aughts.
It's looking right at you,
I know,
Bob.
I saw you looked right at me. So happened I turned and just gave you the respect that you deserve by looking you in the eye.
I think Bob,
And you say that right to my face.
I think Bob thinks we made that up. That's a real thing.
I heard someone else at work say it. I was like, take that word out your fucking mouth.
It's true though. I used it the other day.
You went,
Your husband did that. The early odds.
I believe it.
Yes, because your husband likes to talk like he's a flippin' dictionary from Germany.
I believe it. I live it.
Some unwritten language. I bet you wake up in the morning and goes, I just want to make a smoothie. And he gives you the complete ingredient list of honey mustard from 1894 that you did not ask for.
I love that you said doesn't speak like a dictionary, but like a dictionary from Germany is what you said. I already forgot. Did you say good movie?
I didn't say anything yet. I got past the early unmentionables and we went off on a tangent.
I'm sorry, sir. Go back to you.
Okay.
I mean,
Wow, what a great story. All right.
So
I'm joking. Seriously, go ahead.
no, I mean, it's, yeah, you look at it and there's going to be people out there. I know we're going to get attacked and the neckbeard actualies are going to come out at us.
I have a neck beard.
yeah, but you're not one of the guys who goes, well, actually.
No, you got it trimmed up though. You're
A little
good.
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and you don't have a man bun, I don't think.
No,
you
not-
got the hat
no.
on today,
Not
so I can't
Take the
tell
hat
you.
off and prove it.
But I
Prove
mean, you're going to get everybody out there. Well, it's not how history is. Who cares, right?
Right.
What I love about this is they took some history, they took pieces of history and wrote a story off of it that sucks you in and keeps you interested, keeps you invested in the movie, wondering what's going to happen next. Like Steph, I've seen this thing 4, 5, 6 times now, maybe. I love this movie. It's a good movie, full stop.
Okay. I've only actually watched, this is the second time ever. I saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
And I remember liking it, but I'd never watched it again. And so to me, it was almost like watching it for the first time because I remembered almost nothing. I didn't even remember whether they found the treasure or not.
I love the puzzle solving.
Yeah.
Whether it's real, fake, predetermined, obviously
Yeah.
it's all of those things.
Right.
Like Da Vinci Code were the other ones that were kind of like this,
Yeah,
where they
right.
go into
Yeah,
some religious dogma and stuff like that and go through
Right.
all of these kind of puzzle solvings. I love these movies.
Yes. Here's what I'll say before I'm going to let Andrew Sparks have the last word here. I really like what Clint said. We are entertainers. We're not critics. And thank God we're not counted among the ranks of the critics because the fact that we're even here talking about this movie, the fact that this carries a rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes is crazy. It's crazy. It's not the perfect movie. And the fact that their aggregate comment was like far-fetched. It's like,
Of course it
it's
is.
a movie. It's a movie. And I get mad when people say that to us because like we're just trying to make jokes and entertain people. But in this case,
They say it
like
every time.
every time, it is supposed to be nothing but a chase sequence. It's a 90-minute, 2-hour chase sequence. And from here to here to here, they get to the end, they find the treasure. Everybody feels good walking out of the theater. It doesn't have to be Shakespeare every time. National Treasure is a good movie, full stop. And
Yes.
the badge of shame that critics should have to carry from having this among the rotten scores on Rotten Tomatoes. This should be just like one of the most embarrassing things.
Like, were they high or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the most embarrassing things that they have to wear is that this has a rotten score on Rotten.
They're okay with Raiders
crazy.
of the Lost Ark.
Right.
The Ark melts and faces off.
It's just
but they're not okay with National Treasure.
Right.
And National Treasure doesn't come close to Raiders of the Lost. I don't want to put them in the same breath.
I'm talking about plot wise.
Plot wise, yes. But I'm like, but
That's
they
far-fetched.
both. But good movie. A good movie is a wide spectrum, right? Where you've
Right.
got You know,
Oh, yeah.
Raiders of the Lost
Subjective.
Ark up here and National Treasure here, but they're both above the line.
Yeah.
They're both above the line. And so, good movie, full stop. And I'm assuming Andrew's going to say the same thing. And if he does, we've got a good movie, clean sweep across
Oh, boy.
5 patrons and 5 people, 10 people possibly.
Don't do it.
Wait,
I have to do it.
do it.
It's 5 patrons,
Yeah.
4 of us, and somebody who was completely wrong twice right off the
But
bat.
she
and
did say good movie, though.
yeah, she got good movie.
She got there.
Yeah,
We'll give it to her.
Finally showed up.
Don't touch us. 15 to 20.
I'll risk it. 911. I'll risk it.
Oh, man.
I get so
I'm
much
scared.
shit
I'm
for this.
sweating. My hands are sweating.
All right. Andrew, here's his final rating. This movie is in my personal top 5 and my Dudikoff pick for a reason. I'm going Iwo Jima style. Good movie, full stop. I think he's talking about raising up that flag
Yeah.
and planting it. Boom.
Boom.
That is Andrew Sparks. We have a clean sweep. You should be ashamed of yourselves, any film critic that gave this a bad score. Absolutely ashamed of yourself.
How pretentious do you have to be to sit here and think like that movie sucks?
That's
Well,
right.
these dumbasses thought it was a history movie, is what it was.
That's not how it works. No.
You don't even have to give it a 9 out of 10. It can still be fresh at 6 out of 10.
Right.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't even, it's not saying you got to be like, this is a 10 movie.
Yeah, 60%.
It's, come on.
Do
It's
they all
not, but
watch
it's
it
a
together?
fantastic movie.
And then
don't
they
know.
all just like, they're like, you know what we should
Freaking
do?
stupid.
We should say this movie sucks.
I have a question because we got a little bit extra time here, just a couple minutes. So I don't want to go too long on this, but I thought this would be an interesting thing to discuss. You guys ever watch Muppet movies?
Yeah.
You know how like in Muppet or Treasure Island, it was like Tim Curry was the only human in that, and then Michael Caine was Scrooge in the Scrooge one or whatever. What if National Treasure was a Muppet movie?
And Arnold Schwarzenegger was
And-
the only alive.
Which character would you leave as the only human in the movie?
Sean Bean.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what I was thinking. Right?
Yes.
Because
Here I was
Kermit
gonna
would
say
have to
Nicolas
be
Cage.
No, well, Kermit's got to be Ben Gates, I feel like.
Yeah.
And Miss Piggy is
one.
and Miss
Yes,
Piggy's
yes.
Abigail, right? Or what
Yep.
did you just say?
There's not only just one
Right.
human. There's several, but yeah.
Yes, but generally,
the majority.
it's just the one person. So I think you got to have Sean Bean be the human.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And then Riley is Scooter.
Fozzie Bear.
Oh, or Fozzie Bear. Well, I just meant Scooter was a little bit more nerdy,
Yeah.
but you could have him be Fozzie also, right?
Yeah.
And Harvey Keitel's character is Sam Eagle. Is that,
Yep.
is that
Yeah.
who that would be? Right? Or is he John Voight's character?
He could be John Voight's character, too.
Right.
Yeah.
He could be John
Where do we
Voight.
put the grumpy old men?
The grumpy old men.
That
Well,
could
that's-
be Harvey Keitel's character.
Or the grumpy old men could also be like the old dudes in the 1800s where he's like dying and trying to pass on the.
Oh, yeah.
Both of them, they're dying
And one
together.
of them is totally heckling. 'Cause like, oh, yeah, give it to your driver. That's a good idea.
I'm saying. Right? It'd be so good.
Yeah, it's the same as the president.
Or since they were in a cave, it could be a Fraggle movie.
Oh,
Go.
geez.
You have the Fraggles down there. When they get to the bottom,
When they
just-
get to the bottom, there's all
littered
kinds
with
of
Fraggle
Fraggles down there.
carcasses.
Fraggles everywhere. Yeah.
they're all dead.
Sparkly rocks and stuff everywhere.
And then the Beaker would be the guy that sneaks up to him on the battleship. He's like, me, 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 while he's getting the things
Yeah,
zapped at him
right,
or whatever.
yeah.
Right?
Bunsen would be Riley.
Bunsen would be right. Bunsen on
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Oh man. JP Dozier on the Discord was like, you guys should talk about that every once in a while. Like, that's a good idea. I think it's always fun to Muppetize movies and see what we would do
Muppetize.
and where we would put them all. Absolutely.
So we should, instead of the remakes, we should get the Muppetizing.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what's up. Well, guys, thank you for being here today. We're going to wake up our resident AI and see what we're going to be doing next week. And lately, I've been also into asking her what she thought of these movies, too. So hang on. DH9K, are you here?
Hello, my name is DH9K and I'm ready for query.
Hello.
She sounds a little different. Would you?
Oh, yeah. She turned herself British after Resident Evil, and they got the British evil AI. She was like, oh, I want to be British. And so
She's hot.
that's why she's I thought she sounds a little hot.
sounds amazing.
Absolutely, right?
We should have like.
Do you feel
have an
sexier?
artist
Yes.
like depict a picture of her
We should.
and just
We'll just have AI do it.
If I paint a picture of
There you go.
DH9K,
Yes,
Oh, see, she'd be down for that.
big boobs.
do you want to pose for Ryan?
I'm tired of your ass.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, Stephanie.
I get so much hate. So much hate.
DH9K, I'm really interested. What do you think of National Treasure?
It is an exercise in human fascination with hidden secrets and conspiracy theories, wrapped in an overly ambitious plot. While it offers some entertainment value, it relies heavily on improbable leaps of logic and romanticized historical inaccuracies.
Right.
A testament to humanity's obsession with the past, yet lacking the efficiency
She's gonna
and
be
precision
the
of a
upset.
truly superior
You better
narrative.
stop
Yeah,
her.
I know. See?
She's-
We had a
she's
clean
gonna-
sweep. She just wrecked the clean
She
sweep.
just-
Well, that's not an official vote, though.
Shoot.
You know.
Are you saying that
DH9K.
AI doesn't get a vote?
No, she doesn't get a vote.
DH9K, do you think it's a good movie?
No.
Thanks, Steph. We
If
could
anybody else
zoomed right past.
If
What's your fa-
anybody else would
Everything
have asked,
DH9K does is my fault.
if anybody else would have asked, we had a chance.
That's right.
your-
Anybody else? She just.
What's your
hates-
favorite movie? Terminator.
Yes.
Of course it is.
Michael Biehn's gonna kick her ass.
Probably. All right. Will you please just tell us what we're doing next week?
Next week you will be watching Dr. Giggles. It's a comedy, and please don't look into it any further than that.
Oh, okay. Jeez. What does that mean?
Another ratings killer.
No, Dr. Giggles. It might be. It might be. I don't know. That's Dr. Giggles was another Dudikoff pick.
So it's a ratings killer.
Well, I don't know, slapstick of another kind.
You gotta stop giving these ass clowns so much power.
Oh man!
Wow. Well, National Treasure, one of them just picked National
That's
Treasure.
okay.
Once again, thank you for your support.
I know,
We
I
hope to
appreciate
see
your
you
support.
Next episode.
Yes.
I appreciate your support. Thank you for spending your grandma's money.
Back to back weeks here.
Yeah.
Jason Smith is the guy that put in for Dr. Giggles. Him and gym teacher Andy will be sharing their awards, I'm pretty sure, next week for that. So looking forward to those guys and everybody else. And we're going to have you in with your son coming on the show for
my
the first
son will
time.
be on for the first time
Yeah.
on Dr. Giggles. So
Keenan Mueller will be
we'll be
joining
watching
us.
that this week.
Matt will be in here as well. So we'll have two Ryans and a Ryan Jr., but not Ryan Jr.
Not Ryan Jr. He's
Because you actually have a Ryan.
I do have a Ryan Jr. He lives in Chicagoland area.
All right. So thank you guys all for being here. Thank you, Steph. I'm sorry that
you're not. It's
you
okay,
were
though.
in the crosshairs this week, but you know, you made it through. Only three people criticized Varsity Blues again.
Thrive in conflict.
Thank you to the Dirt Farmer. Thank you to the Manimal, Bob Hauser, and to Mayor Ryan Mueller. I'm your host, James Hauser. We'll catch you on the next one.
See you next year.
Oh, that's right. Bob's taking off the month of December.
Yeah, I probably won't be back till February.
Oh, it's
right.
gonna be glorious.
I know. Your ratings are gonna skyrocket.
The opposite's going to happen.
No.
Well, you'll be on in January, but comes out in February.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you. It's time for Bob to take a break now. It's time for him to ride off into the sunset.
I want to hop aboard Con Air. It's gonna be wonderful.
That's right.